Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing today? Good to see you again. Let's try something new here. Let me know if you can hear this music in the background. Can you? It's a new feature that my streaming service added where you can actually play music in the background. And I don't really want to be annoying with the music in the background, but let me know if you can hear it or not. You know, it's just a test. I'm not going to have music playing in the background all the time, but I just thought it'd be kind of funny to test it out today, you know, just to see if it's there. You know, background noise and stuff, how loud it is or not, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? Check this out. Oh, it's 11:30 by James. There you go. Let's check this out, guys. We got a couple things to talk about here. Let's get into Mjolnir. Marvel Studios. Thor. Mjolnir. The hammer is coming. All right, here we go. I know you people have already talked about this, but here we go. We got the Love and Thunder. We got the rare right here, which is the cracked version. This is obviously from the movie, so that's kind of cool. And, you know, it's 60 gems, so that's going to be pretty pricey, right? So, you know, that's going to be a bit tough, you know, for the I don't know. I don't think this one's going to stay above retail. And then you're looking at 3,800 editions, which is actually pretty good. So there's a battle between low mint sizes and price. So I'm not sure. I think price beats the edition on this particular one. If this was 40, then, you know, I would assume maybe it could stay above retail, but I don't think this one's going to stay above retail tomorrow. Just, you know, just knowing the market like we know and knowing who's here. But there is 3,800 editions, so it's nice and low. That's actually really good. And then we have the original Mighty Thor, right? From the movie Thor. This is from the first movie. That's where you can tell, right? This is Love and Thunder from number 4. This is Thor, so this is the first movie, you know, Thor 1, right? And this is also, you know, same thing, 3,800 editions. So I don't think it's going to stay above retail initially. I think it's going to go under, probably half. I mean, you know, let's give 30 to 40, I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. I don't know, right? But then we got the Dark World, which is Thor 2, you know, the movie number 2. And that's the Mjolnir there. And this one's got 2,300 editions. So this one's a little bit different. Oh, by the way, can you hear the music? I just want to know how loud it is or not. It's just a test. I'm not going to be playing it the whole time, but so you can hear it there in the background because this streaming service allows you to add it now. And is it distracting? You can hear it? Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, I'll just turn it off, right? But I just wanted to know if it was like loud or what, you know, because I don't like having music totally in the background anyway. I mean, mostly for me, it's kind of fun, but for you guys, I don't know. Anyway, so this is Thor 2. So this is 2,300 editions now. Now this one is quite low. So this one might do a bit better just because the edition sizes are so low. And then we got Thor Ragnarok, which is my favorite of the Thor movies, right? And number 1's good as well. So you got all the hammers from each movie, which is really cool. And this one's also the ultra rare at 2,350. So that's pretty cool. And then you have the Infinity War one, right? This one's pretty rad. This is, you know, if you watch the movie, this is the new one. Stormbreaker. That's the one. And this is the secret rare at 1,000. So this one will definitely be over retail for sure. 100%. This one will do well. You know, I don't know how much, maybe 120 to start. I have no idea. It'll do pretty good. It's cool, but they're not going to be like super sought after in my opinion. So, you know, the cool thing is all of them, like I say, have the edition sizes except for the original hammer, which is 3,800. But, you know, these are pretty low in edition sizes, right? Like they're not like crazy. They're not like 8,000 or something. So it's better than, for example, the Eye of Agamotto drop, which I, you know, ranted and raved about. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's that one, right? So let me know if you guys are going to go for that tomorrow. I probably won't go for this one tomorrow, to be honest. I probably won't, just because I'm not really into the artifacts, but it's pretty cool if you are. So there you go. And then we got this interesting one. We got the stamps. So this is interesting here. So, I mean, I don't know how much these are going to be. So it's a souvenir sheet, but I do love the originals, like the antique, classic, old school stamps from like, you know, the 19th century, whatever. Those are, I actually have some. I actually have some stamps in my overall collection, and they're quite beautiful, right? You know, like so. This will be interesting to see. I want to see the article though, and we'll see like what it looks like more. And if it's a souvenir sheet, now if it's got all this other stuff around it, I don't like that. I would rather just have the pure stamp itself, just the way that I would do it. So I don't know like what too much information about this. We'll see. They'll tell us, right? But it looks like if we're getting the stamp, then we might be done with the Thor stuff. And so I'm like, no, you know, we got the comic books, right? We got the Jane, you know, the first appearance of Jane Foster as Mighty Thor, but we didn't get her first appearance in the What If, like as Thor, right? That's the one you want. And then we didn't get Jane's first appearance herself, which is like Journey into Mystery, I think 84. I think that's the one where it's literally her first appearance. We didn't get that comic either. So I'm kind of disappointed about that. And then the big one is that it doesn't look like we're getting the first appearance of Thor at all, like, you know, the Journey into Mystery comic of Thor's FA, at least not yet. I mean, one day we might, maybe they're saving it for Comic-Con. I don't know. Maybe we'll get it on Monday. I don't know, but it's kind of after the fact, especially now that they threw a stamp drop in the middle here. So we had like Thor stuff going for a few days. Now we got the stamps, and this is on, you know, Saturday, right? So, is that it? Are we done with Thor? Like, I hope not. I want that one of those key comics, you know, like I got the secret rare comic from, you know, Monday, the Thor #1, which we didn't get #2, which is the Gore's FA. So I wanted that comic, but we got issue #1. So, you know, go figure. And I got the secret rare though, because it's gorgeous. I love it. So I snagged that, and it's great. It's a secret rare. And you know how I am with secret rares, but you know, I didn't actually go for this comic at all yet. I haven't done anything with this comic. I haven't bought the secret rare. I haven't done any of the, even though it's lower editions too, which is kind of cool. Like the secret rare's got 500, but really it's only 450. Like it only has 450 that we can actually get. So it's, you know, it's a little bit more limited, which is cool. And it's a cool secret rare cover, right? Like, you know, it's not bad, right? Like I do kind of think this cover is kind of cool. I mean, it's not great, you know, to me. It's decent. I mean, I know a lot of people are talking about this artist right here, but I have no interest in that art personally myself, but a lot of people do. And you know, you can see the what is it, the um what is the name of the artist again? I always forget his name, but you know, it's kind of cute and cool. And some people really like it. I don't. I don't have no interest in it at all. But that's okay. That everyone's got their own, to each their own. But this comic here, you know, it's okay. I mean, it's okay. You know, it's a modern first appearance, but it's not the first appearance that the comic collectors want. So, you know, so I'm kind of like, oh, a little bit deflated about what we've gotten this week with the Thor stuff, even though it looks all cool. It's not the big impact stuff that I personally wanted myself, just my own opinion, you know. Everybody's got their own opinion. It's all good, right? And we'll see what happens with the hammers, right? We'll see what happens, you know. So I don't know. I don't know. And the stamps, well, like I said, I'm not really into stamps in the app at all. Like, you know, I've had them in the past and they're good sets to make if you can make them for cheap. And there's a whole thing about the stamps. They keep giving us stamps, so you know that they're going to build up a nice collection in there. And maybe we'll get, you know, some stuff. Maybe these stamps are going to be really rare. You know, we'll see about the edition size of them. I have no idea. But you know, I really want the stamp. Like, I don't want this whole big. It's just me personally. I don't want this whole big artwork thing around it. I just want the beautiful U.S. postage stamp. I mean, these older stamps are really nice, right? So I don't know if that's what we'll get. I hope so. I hope we don't get all this classic era, classic forever kind of stuff all around it. I don't want to see that with a stamp. If I was going to do stamps, and this is one I actually might do if it is just the stamp and it's just the beautiful, like, old school look, like, you know, the antique look, then I actually might want one of those in my collection just for fun because I really love that kind of thing. And like I said, I do have a stamp collection, not a big one, but a small one. And I have some US stamps and Canadian stamps from going, you know, way back, like into the 1800s. And I have a whole bunch of, like, you know, envelopes, like covers, like, you know, with the stamp on it, you know, with the post office mark. And some of those post office marks that don't exist anymore or make them very valuable. You can get into stamp collecting if you want. And anyway, there's, like, you know, they're all letters that were passed down for my family. So they're really cool. I really like them. They look really great. I'm not into stamp collecting, but I have them. They were passed down to me. So it would be kind of neat if they did have that, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. So how's everybody doing today? We got Yada Dog saying, let's go. How you doing? Double Quills in the house. How's it going? Tim, good to see you as well. James, good evening. 11:30 in the UK. All right. Thanks for stopping by. This is a bit of a different time for me. I'm usually at about 10:30 a.m. But I've been super busy this week because I've had, like, a graphic design project. That's like my real job, right? And I know I have a few things with my toy business and all that, but my graphic design profession is what I went to college for. Anyway, I have a big project this week that I'm working on. So I couldn't do live on Wednesday or this morning because I have deadlines, right? But hope you guys are all right with that. I'll do my Saturday one as normal because that's where we have all the reward give outs, right? Yada Dog, how you doing? Good to see you from Ireland again. You like the music? That's good. I turned it off. I don't know if it's too loud for people in the background, but sometimes it's cool to jam a little bit, you know, while we're hanging out, right? Well paid. How you doing? Good to see you. We got Surreal Wonders in the house. There you go. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. The hype music by Superstar Money. We're hyping things up, no doubt at all. How you guys doing, by the way? Watched your last video. It was a good video. Everybody check it out. We got some girl, Brittany. Hey, MC, hope you're having a great day. Me too. I hope you're having a great day too. You know, good to see you as well. Rod Stop Disco, Aaron. Hey, I watched your video just before this one, the one that premiered. Everybody check that out too. Good video for sure, right? Oh, there's something that's oh, here we go. Unknown VVOG. Oh, a secret VVOG's in the house. I wonder what they got in their collection. It's there, but please turn it off. It's really distracting for many of us. Yeah, I hear you. I just wanted to test it, right? We'll see. And yeah, you hear the music. Okay, Tim, but it's gone now, of course, right? You really wish you could go for this drop, but I think the smart play is to play the secondary market. Yeah, you know, the Thor drop. I don't think I'll go for it. I mean, you know, and not even totally just for, like, if it's worth a lot or not. I'm not really into the artifacts personally as a collector. I think they're kind of cool, like they look kind of cool, but you know, like, I'm just, I don't know. Maybe the Eye of Agamotto spoiled it all for me, because that's the one I ranted about because I was so annoyed with the price. And then, of course, with the edition sizes, this one's a lot better though. The price is a bit lower, but it's still 60. So it's still kind of tough for me, right, to want to spend 60 on this when, I could take that 60 and I could buy like 10 more Iron Man 55s or something like that. So it's a bit tough for me personally, but or I could buy like, I don't know, maybe 3 Lokis with that, right? 3 FA Lokis with 60. So, like for me, it's, but somebody might like them. They're obviously kind of cool. Like they look good, right? You're not liking the cost. Do you think it's a bit too much? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not totally upset by it because the edition sizes are so low. But just right now, I don't think, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go for it. The disco. Yeah. The dog's doing the disco moves. There you go. Maznak, they missed the boat on those artifacts, in my opinion. They should have a variety of weapons from Asgard warriors, such as Hogun's mace, Lady Sif's sword, Odin's sphere, exactly, etc. Yeah, I know what you mean. They gave us the hammers from each one of the movies, so that's kind of cool. You can see the logos there. So they're trying to do that. So they gave us, at least the movie versions. So they are separating them a bit, which is kind of cool. But I hear you for sure, right? Tim, you're not going for the drop either? Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that, right? It's not reputation. I wouldn't say it's that. I mean, I think it's pretty cool, but it's just not really my thing. You don't like the stamps either? Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. First drops are cool, but these ain't nothing. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you don't have to like them. It's all good, right? That's the thing about it, right? You can go for them if you want. You liking the stamps, to be honest, might make for a nice cheap set. Yeah, so the stamps, like I said, if the stamp looks like this, like if it's just the stamp, then I'll be more intrigued because I really do love that look. I mean, it's really beautiful, those stamps, if you really look closely at them. Like I said, I have stamps. I don't know if I have them over here. They're somewhere around here in my office here. I do have a stamp book, and I do have like United States stamps, and I have stamps from all over the world, but not a big collection. Like I said, it was handed down to me. And I really did research on them. It was cool. Like what I did is I had to look up like they're called covers, which is like envelopes from the past, like old letters. And most of them were empty. There was a couple letters in them, which was really cool, but they're like 150 years old. And it was really cool, right? So hold on one second here. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so like I said, they're really beautiful if you look at them. And the covers that I had there, they're old letters and they have like the handwritten address on them from like way back. And the US stamps in the corner, they're so cool. And the postage mark, like the stamp, like from the post office. Some of those are, I learned that they're extremely valuable because they're post office that used to exist way in the past. And they would all have their own little, when they would cancel the stamps, you couldn't use it again. They would stamp it in the corner, right? Up, wherever you put the stamp. So I have a bunch of those, and those are really cool. And like I said, I have like individual like stamps that are separated and they're all it's pretty cool. Actually, I should probably pull them out and look at them again. So this kind of thing, when they announced stamps for the first time back in the app, back in the day, when we got like those, those Day of the Dead stamps and all that kind of stuff, I was actually hoping for stamps like this instead. So I am a little bit intrigued, but I have to see how it's going to look, right? I have to see how it's going to look. So yeah, only value is a cheap set, but will take a few weeks to get to the true low. Don't FOMO into this. Yeah, your opinion, right? People can do whatever they want. That's for sure. I was lucky to get the secret rare today. Oh, nice, Yada Dog. So I'm still on a 0 secret rare streak, okay, for comics. I've been in this app since October, right? Since early October 2021. I mean, you couldn't be here any earlier than you could. I don't think you could be here in October 2020. I don't think it existed then. Anyway, don't quote me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I still have never gotten a secret rare comic book ever on the drop, like a secret rare. Like I've never, ever. So my streak continues, but I've got lots of ultra rares, and I broke my secret rare streak with the Darth Vader, the kids' little artistic renderings. I actually got the secret rare on that, and that was cool because I sold it for like $250 like the day of. So that was really nice. So that helped, right? Yeah. So what do you think of the Todd Spider-Man comic secret rare? I own all of them, Reputation. I own a multiples, actually. I think I even have one listed right now for sale because I own 3 of Spider-Man 2. And I love them. I think they're fantastic. I just love the art, but I also have all of the Craven secret rare Spider-Man comics just because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan and I just love secret rares. And they're such a great price. I just buy one and lock it away in the vault, and who knows what happens to them in the future, right? Because they're just so scarce, right? So I love them. I mean, I love Todd McFarlane's art for sure, and yeah, I'm a big fan, but I'm a big fan of most secret rares. That's why I was looking at this one today. Sorry, this one here, over here in the corner. I might pick this one up at some point. It depends. It's just under 100, I think. If I look in the market right now, if I just go to the market and I go to my to the comics, and there she is there, and there she is there. So there's 110 listed. Yeah, it's at 80. So I was looking at this earlier when it was like at 95 or so, and I'm like, well, I think people will sell it for cheaper. So I'll just wait. I'll just wait for the price to go down a bit, and I'll probably put one in the vault. Just just store it away. If the price is like down here, like if it gets to 70 or 60, I'll definitely just grab one because I just love the secret rares. They're so cheap, right? These particular ones, and it could be good, or maybe I'll get something else, right? We'll see, right? So you can't wait for another Grail comic. Yeah, I was sort of disappointed this week. Like I said, I mean, I'm not upset or anything, but I was really hoping that we would get like the first appearance, like if we go to, if we just type in first appearance Jane Foster, right? If we just type that in and we go to images, so this is the comic here. That's her first actual appearance as Jane Foster. This is Journey into Mystery 84. So we didn't get that one. And I don't think anyone predicted that we were going to get that one for sure. But this is the one here that I was thinking we would get. The what if Jane Foster had found the hammer. That's the valuable one. So I was really hoping we get that this week potentially, right? And then, of course, I was really hoping that we would get this one too. Okay, well, this is it here. So this is God of Thunder. This is issue number 2, but we got issue number 1 for some reason, even though it's a really cool cover and I do like it. And I did get the secret rare because the art's so beautiful. This is the one you want, right? This is the one you want. So I was hoping we would get that. And then, of course, the big daddy of them all, the big one is this one. I mean, I was hoping we would get this one. We still might get it maybe on Monday. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, this is what I want. But I hope the stamps doesn't indicate that, we're all over with Thor stuff because, we have gotten a few drops in a row. They don't usually give us more than this. So we'll see what happens. Stamps should be easy to flip. Yeah, if you get a good one, I guess. We'll see what the additions are on them, The hammer will not sold out. They're all similar. I don't participate in the drop. Yeah, you won't be getting one either. Yeah, we'll see what happens. They are 60, right? They are 60. And you know how gems are getting more and more valuable now, right? It's been a while since we've seen a huge grail. Well, that's not true, actually. Since we've seen a massive grail, well, we just got Vader, so that's a huge grail. That was like a month ago. And we got Avengers 4, and that is a huge grail. Even though he's only sitting at 500 gems for the secret rare, that's massively undervalued. And we got Doctor Strange's secret rare, and that is a huge grail too. So we have gotten huge grails. Now, I think you're probably referring to people sending it up to 20,000 or something, but we probably won't get anything like that, anything of that magnitude, maybe unless we get Amazing Fantasy 15. That's probably the only huge grail, like huge grail. But yeah, I mean, we've gotten some really great stuff. In fact, I did a whole video comparing which months were better. And May of this past year was really close to August of last year in regards to the best drops we've ever had in VV's history. Like May was absolutely crazy. We had tons of stuff come, including Star Wars, but we had all those great comics. It was just a massively unbelievable month for drops. And June was like, okay and stuff. But, last August was obviously massive as well because of the comic books and all that kind of stuff, right? So, we have gotten really great stuff lately, in my opinion, right? You just bought the Amazing Spider-Man 3 for 900. There you go, Sean. That's nice. Let's check that one out again. I have that one. That one's great, man. For 900, hey? Let's check it out. Where are you, Amazing Spider-Man 3? I bought it for 1,300. So I'm still sitting on it, right? That's totally cool. Nicely done. There you go. Yeah, this is just such an absolute monster comic. It's so huge, right? And I got it at 1,300. When I got it, that was my number one secret rare that I had. And I wanted to get to that level because it had come down from 1,800 or so at that particular time and when I got it. So congrats today for getting it for 900. So someone undercut the floor, but you couldn't pass on it. Yeah, there's some good deals. So like I said, like, I made my video. I don't know if you guys have watched it today. I gave my opinion about the no cheap gems anymore. So go watch it if you want to get into it a bit. It's not a long video, but like we are going to see some deals, right? Because gems are becoming harder to acquire now because they're going to be, like, and not everybody was buying gems cheap, but a lot of people were. And so, now gems are a little bit harder to acquire. They're more expensive, of course. So that's going to do either two things. It's either going to drive the price up on stuff, which I think it's going to drive the price up on grails over time because it's going to be harder to get to them, right? Because you have to get more stuff. And so people are going to sell other things to get to those grails because it's more expensive to buy your gems, right? So these are the people who are really here long-term or are hunting and stacking for the big stuff. And these are a lot of people who are buying gems for off app for cheap, who were, stacking up and, all these grails and stuff over the last like 2 months or 3 months or 4 months even, like now, if you want to get to that level, it's going to be harder for you, right? So there's a give and take here. Like, do you sell your stuff for cheap now to get your gems? Like, do you sell like this comic here, for 900? Just so you can get gems, and then what do you do with those gems? Well, the only thing you might be risking is if you do that, you might be locking yourself out, right? Because I'm talking about the highest level stuff. I'm not talking about all the low level stuff. Everyone's going to flip and sell those constantly nonstop, especially now that gems are more expensive. So we'll see a lot of action in the low levels, but in the higher level stuff, like a Vader or something, I mean, once you sell that Vader and you pay that fee, the 8% or whatever, and then you think, okay, you got all those gems, right? What are you going to do with those gems if you're not cashing out, right? Are you going to wait for him to come down? Because I think those grails are going to be harder to get to now. As time goes on, I think we'll see some good deals in the short term here. So, you just keep your eyes open, right? Yeah, Vader for sure. Comics. Okay. Yeah. I hear you. Golden Boy, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, is it like after midnight for you? Thanks for coming, Golden Boy. Appreciate you. We got Eduardo. How you doing? Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Eduardo. I appreciate that. That's good. C3PO under 600, perfect grab, in my opinion. Yeah, for sure, right? So these are the kind of things that we'll see. We're going to see some of this, and this is fantastic. It's totally fine by me. As someone who's holding, my stuff, long term, I'm all good. Now, I do have some duplicates of stuff. So if you see me listing like a secret rare lately, it's because I have duplicates, and I'm trying to get some gems as well at a certain price level so I can go after some of the bigger stuff, right? So let's go to the brands right here. Here we go. Let's just go straight to the brands right here. Go to the golden moments. Let's just quickly check out C3PO just because I put in there, because he said, okay, there's 157 available, 588. Yeah, so he's dipped down a little bit, which is good. If anybody wants to grab them, there you go. It's really good. Like if gems are more expensive, there's a lot of people talking, okay, because gems are more expensive now, they're always the same price, but it's because people have been buying them off app, right? So now that like those people can't do it, I know if you haven't been buying them off app, it's the same difference for you. But, people think that the whole market's going to correct, like the whole thing. I don't think it's going to go that deep, everybody. Like everything's going to suddenly correct down like to like 40% lower because a lot of people I think the majority of people weren't buying their gems off app, but there's a ton of people who were, and they were doing a lot of purchasing in the market, driving prices up too, right? So there's that, right? But also because they're buying gems cheap, prices, I made a whole video about it. That's what drove the prices down for a couple months because people were able to then, like sell stuff easily at lower levels because their gems, they weren't paying the high dollar for them. Now, if you're buying your gems at full price and you buy a collectible and it's full price, are you going to then dump that collectible later? I mean, that would be bad business on your part, right? So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, right? German, hey, Mycollectables. I was licky enough to get today to get the Thor poster NFT today. Oh, you got the Thor poster, hey? Yeah, that one's kind of cool too. So there's a couple of things about these posters that are really interesting, right? So if we go to, I probably can just find it immediately in the market here, right? If I just go collectibles, it's probably going to be right near the top, right? I think. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. Sometimes they put it all the way down. You got to scroll forever. But like this stamp right here, right? Okay, just the stamps for a second. It has a bit of an old school vibe to it, right? This stamp right here, a classic old baseball vibe. So it's attractive to me. That's why I was saying the US stamps, the really old ones, those ones to me are actually really attractive visually. And so if they just have a clean stamp like this of like the US stamps, I will probably want one in my collection because they look beautiful, right? Anyway, so that was just I was mentioning that as I scroll down to the Thor poster, which, you know, obviously it's not going to be anywhere near here at the top when I'm trying to look for it on the web app. Let's see how far we can go here before we get it. We'll get everything but the Thor poster here. Watch. You watch. Look at this. It's like it hears me, right? It hears me. Look, there's the Star Wars poster. Okay. There, see, and these stamps here, right? The Day of the Dead stuff, and you know, they weren't like attractive to me as a stamp. I like the old school stamp. So let's scroll, keep going. Like, still nothing. You're not going to give me the Thor poster? Look at this. I'm getting everything. I haven't seen some of this stuff in ages. Okay, did I pass it, everybody? I don't think so. Now I'm just determined. Oh, look, I got to the bottom. It's like hiding it from me. What? There we go. Let me just refresh right here. Come on, give us a Thor poster right at the top here. There we go. Come on. Is it a secret kit? Let's just go secret rare then. There it is. Okay, everybody. That was fun. That was fun looking at the market, hey? Yeah, so look at me. It's a secret rare. Only 1,000 of them, right? So let's just check it out. There's only 1,090 of these, and it's like under $100, and it's a secret rare. That is so low, right? For a collectible anyway. But then again, you know, there are secret rare comic books that only have 500 available or 550 because, you know, it says 600, but we can't get 600. You guys know that, right? We can only get like, there's only 550. So, you know, I could see this being under 100, no problem. But it's a beautiful, beautiful poster. Like, I don't own it or anything like that, right? But Izeko. No, I have not got the Cashout. So I was in the second wave of web app. So I got the web app before most people, but I haven't got the KYC yet. I don't know why. We'll see what happens, right? Maybe they don't want me cashing out. I don't know. Is it worth it, guys? I think we were talking about the hammer, and we were thinking, at least for me, I'm probably not going to go for that drop, even though the editions are really low on it, right? What's your thought on the lenticular cards? Will they rise to old prices again? I've been stacking them, especially the Pluto Ultra Rare, since they're very low 100s and easy to stack. Yeah, you know, I really don't know. I mean, it's up to the people who are selling them, right? So like I said, like, you know, everything that's in the market right here is up to you, right? If you own it, of what you want to sell it for. If you want to sell the lenticular cards for 100 gems, that's what they're going to be worth. So I don't know the collectors who have the lenticular cards, what they're willing to do. If everybody that has a lenticular card that bought them at their peak, if you're selling it right now, you're just better off, in my opinion, just delisting it and just forgetting about it. And if everybody delisted them all at cheap, then the price would rise back up, right? I mean, you're not going to get the price to rise up by selling them all. You know, you're going to have to delist them, right? So sellers, if you're selling the lenticular cards and you want them to be worth something, just don't sell them for so cheap then. It's simple, right? So stacking them up, I don't know if they'll go high again. I don't own any of the cards. You know, I never actually got in on the lenticular cards. I never went for them. Like, I never went in and bought a bunch. I did get a couple Mickeys at one point and a mini. That was earlier on. And then I sold them because I wasn't really into them personally, even though I do recognize that I think that they're really great. But I never bought them. So I never got, you know, my vault was never affected by the lenticular cards drop, like the fall in price, because I wasn't invested in them at all. So, you know, and I'm not against them at all. I just have my own focuses, right? So I really think that they could be really important, but it's up to the sellers, right? Like anything. Would you say I was crazy if I sold Ultra Rare Avengers 8 to stack Ultra Rare Sergeant Furies? I haven't, but I was thinking of it. Duck and Cover. I don't know about that one because the Avengers 8 Ultra Rare is basically a secret rare, right? It's 500 editions. So I always try to work top down with my collecting strategy. Like I try to get the secure the big stuff, and then I'll stack the smaller stuff, right? But you have to ask yourself a question, right? So which one will double in value first, right? If you think about it, right? Which one has a? If you're just looking at it just straight up, like buying and then selling back. So there's Avengers 8 right there. I'm not having any luck with the market. Hey, I got to look for a comic or a thing that's way down. So if you have this, okay, will this get to 1400? All right. So let's say you liquidate this, right? You liquidate this one, you sell it. Somebody buys it for you. Have to have a buyer too, right? You're going to take the selling fee. So you'll get about 700 for that. If you sold this at the floor right now or just under the floor, you'll probably get 700 for it. You're probably going to have to list it a bit lower than that to sell it at this moment, right? Because it's not like, I mean, it's a beautiful, unbelievable, amazing comic, but it's not prime, like it's not right on the front page for everybody. Someone has to go want that one, right? So then you go back to the comics and you're talking about Sergeant Fury, right? So this one right here. So you go to the ultra rare on this one, it's 50. So, okay, so you can get like 10 or 11 of them or something like that. So do you think that this one will go to 100 before that other one goes to 1400? See, that's the way I look at it, right? So if you think, and this is not me, I don't know what'll happen, but if you think that this will double or go up 20%, whatever number you want to say, 20%, 80%, see, whatever you're comfortable with that you want to return on, right? And you have to factor in the selling fee too, right? So if you think that this is going to go up double and you buy 10 of them and it's the same amount of gems that you've spent on 1 or 10, then, which one you think is going to go up first if you're just doing it on a straight flip, right? That's how I look at it. So it's up to you, man. I don't know. I mean, I think this ultra rare, this could be 100, no problem, right? So, but I also think that ultra rare of Avengers 8 should be worth at least 2,000 or 3,000, in my opinion. It's just massive because if you go to the secret rare of that particular comic of Avengers 8, I mean, we know how much that's worth, right? Where is it? They're going to make me scroll all day. Usually they're right at the top. I think it's because it's listed, right? It's just by going by what's listed. There we are. Come on. I don't mind looking at comics, but look at this one. It's like 7,000. All right. And then this one is 700. So it's 10 times less in value, which I think is ridiculous. This one should be way higher, but it's not. So, you just got to go with what's going on. So if you do get stacks, you do get some liquidity, you do get an opportunity. And by the way, those Sergeant Furies will sell faster than this Avengers 8 because they're way cheaper, right? So, it's a good strategy if you want to do it. You could do it. I don't think I don't think that would be bad. Michael, I would like to know what you think of Voltron. No one ever talks about it, but there are very few pieces for sale. It's a very underrated piece, in my opinion, ultra rare. Greetings from Italy. Thanks, Michelle. So, I don't really think about Voltron that much. I do think he's really cool. And I have put him on lists in the past, but I don't think anybody around that's in the app right now is interested in Voltron yet. So could be a good time to get into a collectible or a comic when no one's thinking about it. But at the same time, I focus on the more popular stuff, especially in the way the market is right now. But it's up to you. If you like Voltron, I mean, there is a fandom there and we'll see what happens. But I don't think too much about Voltron right now. Just honestly, personally, sorry. Whippets Run, comics are safer, but these collectibles are really awesome to collect. But you have gotten me to shift to 25% comics. Have I? Okay, Whippets. Well, I'm going 50% VV in my overall collection. By the time the end of this year comes, 2022, I have like physical collectibles, as you can see behind me and stuff. And I'm shifting from physical to digital by the end of this year, at least 50% and maybe more. So, and within that, I'm about like 90% comics on this app. And that's not because I don't love the collectibles. I just stacking the comics because to me, they're really great to stack right now. But there you go. The comics seem to be a bit safer. We'll see what happens. I feel the repeat of the eye on this one. The eye of Agamotto. Yeah, you're talking about on the hammer, right? It's different though, guys. It's different. Okay. So So the hammer here, you know, like I said, the one with the most editions has 3,800. And if you go to the eye, and I think I'm gonna have to go to the brands on this one. And let's where can I find the Eye of Agamotto and the brands here really quick? I know nobody really wants to look at that again. There it is, Doctor Strange. It's got to be in here, right? There we go. Okay, so the secret rare, how many? It goes for 120. The secret rare's got 2,000 editions. So the secret rare hammer has got 1,000 editions, half as much as this. And this one was selling for 70, and the hammer is selling for 60. So I think it's better, right? So if I go to I have to do it this way. I have to go to the details, and let's just go to the common, for example. Okay, there's 12,000 of these. See, this is what annoyed me about this drop, is that there was 12,000 and it was at 70 gems, which I thought was insane, right? Now, the common on this one, or it's not even a common, actually, it's a rare, right? There's only 3,800 of them, and it's cheaper. So it will do better than the Eye of Agamotto, everybody. It will do much better. But how much better? I don't know. Shira, how you doing? You're not going for the Thor hammer, but might get the stamps. They look cool. Yeah, the old school stamps are like, there's something beautiful about those old school stamps, right? So if you type in, like, you know, 19th century US stamps, if I'm even spelling that right, I think I spelled. I mean, look at these. These are gorgeous, right? I mean, look at this, right? You know, I mean, these are like, if you get into stamp collecting, it's like collecting, you know, currency, like real world currencies. They're pretty, I mean, they're gorgeous. And then you get into all the different, I did a whole deep dive into stamps. I'm not going to do that today or anything. Don't worry, everybody. But I did a whole deep dive into stamps and US stamps, because of the ones that I got passed down to me, inherited to me. And you know, there's inks issues. There's all sorts of details around, like the, you know, the like if they were stamped or not, like if they were canceled out. Like this is when you see how there's a stamp cancel on it from a post office, like an actual stamp that they like at the post office. So some of those are extremely rare. I actually have a bunch of these red stamps, like I really do. Like these stamps here, these little 2 cents. You can see the 2 cent right there is a number, and then this 2 cents right here is a word. So you can see there's like all sorts of variations. And I actually went really deep into it at one point, because I was trying to figure out if I had anything that was crazy valuable in real life. And it turns out I might have one. And it was because it's the distinction between the stamp that I got was like the ink, whether it was a pigeon blood ink, okay, like a red pigeon blood, or a pink or something. So, and I can't tell because the stamp's like 150 years old. So, but if it's the pigeon blood, oh man, it's worth a decent amount, right? So, you know, let's get that Eye of Agamotto off my screen. What do you think of getting rid of cheap gems will decrease the on-app gambling? Yeah, so when I just, you guys can watch my video from earlier today. I kind of break it down. I don't want to go into too much detail here about it, but I was saying that the flipping game is kind of dead, right? Because not flipping your collectibles for profit, obviously. I'm just talking about the cheap gem, and then going in and being able to like buy low, you know, and like you can give stuff away because it's like, you know, you didn't pay as much. You know, all the people that said they do this kind of thing, oh, they can sell it for cheaper because they paid less for their gems. Well, that's dead, right? So I mean, if they crack down, I mean, I don't know how much they're going to crack down. So they say you can't do it. It's written in the thing that you can't buy and sell gems off app anymore. But like, are they going to crack down on it? Like, are people? Because I've seen people tweet they're still doing it. So I mean, I don't know who those people are. Nobody that I know is still. And I'm just saying this, right? Like everybody that I know that has saw the announcement that was selling gems or whatever has said, well, I'm done, right? And they've posted publicly. I don't know if that's the case, right? Because I'm not them. But like, you know, there are people who are obviously going to still do it. And whether or not they get caught or not, I don't know. And if they do get caught, like what's the ramification going to be? Are you going to have your account banned or what? And remember, this happened with HRO early on. And if you remember that our good friend of the channel, Dino, you know, he got his account like suspended really quickly in HRO. And he can tell you all about it if you go to his channel. I think he did a whole video about it. Go back and watch it, where like he sold something for higher than the market value was worth. You know, that's how you do it with the gems, right? You list you know, like a Toby or something for 1,000 gems, and the person you're buying gems off of buys it from you, right? And then you give them money in any way you want in the real world, right? And that's how people were doing it, you know, once transfers were gone. So like you know, so that's gone now. You can't do that, and don't do that, right? Obviously, but the thing is that like, if you do that now, is Vivi going to flag you? Or they're going to see that transaction. They're going to see Batgirl go for 2,000 or whatever. And then what happens, right? So we'll see. We're going to start to see what happens. So I would recommend everybody, like I said, if you're using the app now, you follow the guidelines. Otherwise, you'll get your account banned. Or even, if you want to take the chance, man, that's totally up to you. But I wouldn't do it. Like, I'm not doing anything like that. I'm following the guidelines now, especially that this app is becoming fully armed and operational, as I like to call it. It's like the Death Star, this app now. Okay, it's fully armed and operational almost. And it's going to start nuking all the other projects. It's going to shoot its green a blue VV laser beam and blow up all the competing projects, because it's fully armed and operational with KYC and MTL and no off-app gem purchases. And, and marketing's kicking into place. Okay. And we got the top IPs. We're just going to blow everything away. Right. So I'm going to be by the book. Like, I'm going by the book, and I pretty much always have. I haven't really partaken in the off-app gem thing. I've done it a couple times. Right. But I haven't really been prolific at it or anything, which, probably hurt my collection. I mean, compared to other people. Right. So, buy any dips today. I picked up the ultra rare T-Rex for $190. Nicely done. That's a good one right there. Someone floored it for $175. There you go. Yeah. So look for deals. You're going to see them. And like I said, I think that the grails, like, they're going to start separating over a time here. Not like today, but it's going to be harder to get to them. So if you give one up, the gems aren't cheap anymore. It's going to be harder to get back into it. So you got to be careful with what you sell, in my opinion. I would love it if they quit with the blind boxes. Yeah, sure, maybe. And you can just go after what you want. But I think it gives people a chance. Once we see what the MCP points do, then it's going to affect people's abilities to go after items, right? So stamps are awesome. They're undervalued. Yeah, stamps could be great. I don't have any of the stamps, but like, some people like them, right? Do I have some? Do some already have Cashout? Yeah, a lot of people do have Cashout, actually. A lot of people do. And people have done videos about them cashing out already. So I don't have it yet. I think I'm going to start going for the stamp sets. Yeah, you could, right? I mean, they're easy sets to complete. They're not that expensive. And, it's a whole niche, but you totally could, right? Those Alex Ross rarities on the Jane Foster book are incredible. Yeah, so, that is true. That is true. Alex Ross is pretty incredible, you guys. He does the Marvels #1 and all that stuff. He did some of the Ultraman stuff. And in real life, his books are really great. These are pretty cool. These are pretty cool. If this is what we're talking about here. Yeah, it's Alex Ross. Let's see him right here. There we go. So hey, look, writers, Jason Aaron. I've never seen my first name as someone's last name. That's interesting. But there's Alex Ross right there, right? And these look great. I mean, there's Loki in there. I mean, look at that, right? And actually, if you've read this story here, it's really cool, right? So, I mean, because Thor has been doing some stuff, he's unworthy of the hammer, right? And so Jane gets it. It's a different story than what's going on in the movie, I think, but it's close. But, the secret rare looks pretty cool, right? So how do you get a drop head, Mad Dad? Well, all you got to do is you go to the OpenSea and you can buy one. They're right there on the OpenSea, and the link's in the description. Or you can join my channel as a member. You have to, like, not a subscriber, but a member. And then you DM me and I send you a free one. And then you get the link to the Discord server and all that stuff. So those are the two ways to do it, right? So if you join as a member, it's $1. If you buy one off the OpenSea, it's about 10. So just join as a member, you'll get a free one. Thanks for asking, by the way. And that's for anybody who wants to do that. I'm looking to stack those simply for that reason alone. Yeah, right. Good idea. Because of Alex Ross, you could do that too. 0 secret rare club. I know, Adam. You've never got one on the drop either. Oh, I've never gotten one on the drop. Not a comic book. I did have a nice streak of ultra rares like in June. I got like 3 or 4 ultra rares out of like 5 or 6 drops. Like I got this, the Doctor Strange ultra rare, which was really great. I sold that, and stacked a bunch of commons. And what other ultra rares did I got a couple ultra rares recently, right? So is Young Avengers a future grail? I'm thinking about stacking commons. So Young Avengers 1 is a speculation book. And any of the comic people and know this, right? And it's people. Now, here's the thing about Young Avengers 1. This comic is from 2005. Okay. So this is not a new comic, everybody. This comic has been out for almost 20 years. And people who bought it then have been waiting, right? And so you're getting it now, and you won't have to wait as long because they're going to obviously do some stuff with these characters. Now, the best news for anybody who has been stacking this comic in the real world is that Vivi just dropped it, right? So when Vivi drops a comic book, we know because of Marvel, their connection, that they're going to do something with these characters. Vivi doesn't just drop random comics, maybe a couple here and there, but most of the comics they've been dropping, especially lately, are directly tied to the MCU releases. So if you're buying this comic in the real world, like, 10 years ago, hoping that, these guys all come, into the movies or whatever. Remember, this comic was out before Iron Man came out, before the MCU was even a thing, right? So this is not brand new, this comic, right? Whereas the Obi-Wan Kenobi comic we got in May was literally printed, I think, on May the 4th of this year. So that's a new comic, but this one's not. So, if you're getting it now in Vivi, that means that something is going to happen. Any comic that's in Vivi, any first appearance, we're getting that character in the movies or on a show sometime soon. That's the way Vivi works. We've learned it, right? They're hooked up with Marvel and the MCU, and they're releasing comics because of their significance. So yes, this one is a future Grail. And remember, Grails are created over time, right? They're not just printed usually. Like, it's not like this comic came out in 2005 and it was a Grail immediately. No. But what this comic did in 2005 and the years after was it appealed to that generation of comic book readers. So every generation of comic book readers has a group of characters that is the number one characters of that era. So the 1960s, you had Spider-Man and Fantastic Four and Hulk and all them. And then in the, after those characters were already established, then in the later 1960s and the early 1970s, you had a bunch of other characters come in, like the Vision and all them. And they were kind of the secondary characters of that era. And then in the 1970s, you had the same sort of thing happen. You had like the Ghost Riders, and you had like characters like that were like the top of that era. And then underneath them came in with other characters that weren't as popular, but they were still in that era. So you fast forward to like, now in the 2000s, that era, this comic was one of those top comics, right? And people really like these characters, and then they filled in after. So now this is one of those ones that people will like. Now I just have the secret rare. That's all I have. I don't have any other vested interest in this comic. I haven't stacked any commons yet or anything like that. I've been too busy stacking the previous era's big time comics. So Whippets Run, the hammer drop is more of proof of future utility. Like, the common hammer gets you into Castle A, but you need the secret rare to enter Castle Z. Gameplay of these NFTs can be worth a lot. Yeah, I know what you mean, Whippets. Yeah, for sure, right? I mean, it's cool. They're all locked in there. It'd be cool if you could swing them around. Like, I was saying, like the lightsabers, if they release Kylo Ren in the app and they don't give him a lightsaber, you're going to want to go buy that lightsaber. And that's why we have lightsabers, in my opinion. But this is different because they're stuck in there, right? But it would be really cool if you could pull that hammer out. But yeah, it might give you utility into certain things. We'll see, right? Crypto, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Sata Mama, Landon, yeah, you should. MCU definitely building the Young Avengers. Yeah, they're building them up. So if you want to stack it up, you could, right? Reputation Ace, love you, Aaron. Your positivity is so infectious and love you. Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that, you guys. Thanks for what you're doing. I really appreciate that. I'm only just feeding off of you, right? We're all having fun here. That's the whole point. Just have fun. I mean, look at what we get to talk about. It's so cool, right? It's a buyer's market, maybe. Yeah, it's been a buyer's market for the last bunch of months. That's my mentality on the whole thing. I mean, I've been selling some stuff too. So I stacked up a whole bunch of comics, and then I would shave a couple off the top just to get my gems back. So you might see me sell an Avengers 4 here and there, and I will list it near the floor and try to beat people with the mint number, and just, one or two here and there just to kind of replenish my gems after I go after another secret rare. So like I did that with this one. I bought this Young Avengers secret rare right here, and which is doing pretty good right now. 148. I got it at 125. So I was pretty happy about that. And so then after I did that, I needed to replenish some gems. So I went to my stack, my comic book stacks that I did of Avengers 4 and, like Strange Tales and all those and Iron Man 55. And I'll shave 1 or 2 off the top of my stack of 50. Might take me down to 48 or 47 just to replenish those gems, just so I have enough to go for the next drop. And so that's what I'm thinking about this this comic book here, this Thor comic book with her. If I want to go after the secret rare here, now I have some gems to do it, and I replenish them from my stack, and my stack they doubled in value, right? So I'm making little gains there. That's how I build my way up until to the big stuff. But now I have to decide whether I want to even put money into this or if I want to save for bigger stuff, because I was hoping for the Thor first appearance comic, right? The Journey into Mystery. And that was one I was building up for. But I could snag this one right now, but I don't want to do it quite yet. It's at 80. Maybe people will put it down to 60 or 70, but probably not. It probably won't go much lower than 80, So would you sell Star Wars Secret Rare to get Avengers Secret Rare and a few others? Oh, that's a good question, TH. Oh my gosh, right there. You know how big of a fan I am about Star Wars, right? Oh, and I have 2 Avengers 4 Secret Rares, 2 of them, right? Because that one's just a monster. The Star Wars Secret Rare is very special, though, because it's the first Star Wars Secret Rare ever. And it's the only comic, the first Star Wars comic Secret Rare. And I really think it's a special one. So that's totally up to you. I mean, you could make a gain on that, but Avengers 4 to me, I think it's like a $2,000 secret rare. I mean, it's at 500 right now, but yeah, I also think Sergeant Nick Fury is like at least look at Nick Fury's at 345. You remember he had his little pump recently, and guess what? Remember, if you saw my video from like 2 days ago, I talked about the strategy on pumps. So if you're listing after the pump, everybody, you missed it. Okay, so don't undercut the floor on it once it goes up. You're not the sellers, the buyers are gone, right? There's 1 or 2 people who went in and swept this one up a few days ago, all the way to 500. And if you if you wanted to get in on that, well, you missed it, unfortunately. So you want to list it somewhere in the middle. But if you undercut it all the way back down, guess what? The cycle will happen again. And in a month from now or whenever, a couple people who have the gems who are waiting for you to delist to drop the price will sweep it again, and then you'll be out, right? You'll try to catch it again and it'll be too late, and then these will be all scooped up. So if you want to sell this, list it somewhere in the middle here, and then when the sweep happens, yours might be one of the ones that gets swept, as opposed to finding out on Twitter that it went up to 500. And then, this one was so funny because there was only 15 in the market after the sweep happened. And then literally 4 hours later, there was 36. So all of those 20 people jumped in to try to get get in on it. And it was too late. The buyers were gone, or whoever they were. So you gotta, so anyway, if you're going to do, I'll go back to the original question. Sorry, the Star Wars Secret Rare. I don't know. That is special. I have my Star Wars Secret Rare and I'm just holding that forever. Well, forever. I'm holding it. And my only thing would be get both if you can. I know you'd have to sell it to go buy it, but maybe you can get there another way, right? Because you lose on the selling fee too. You lose like 60, 70 gems on that sale. It's So am I more bullish on OMI or the NFTs? Well, I have 500,000 OMI. And if you're in a drop heads on my NFT project, I'm doing OMI giveaways every Saturday. They're not giveaways as much as they're rewards for holding certain drop heads. And so I'm really bullish on OMI, but I'm more of a collector. So instead of like a crypto investor. So I have OMI and I have Ethereum and I have other crypto as well, but I'm more interested in the NFTs, right? So William, great to see you. Thanks so much. Hope you in the community. Yeah, we're doing well. Thanks, William. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining up recently too. It's good to see you in the Discord server. Surreal Wonder, I've been collecting those ultra rare exclusives. Yeah, so those ultra rares, I did a little video about that too, because I've been ignoring them because I've been so focused on the secret rares. And the video I did, I don't own any of those ultra rares, right? So I was thinking that maybe it's time for me to start grabbing a few because the prices are really good on them, right? So look, we got VV Arcade. How you doing? Everybody go watch VV Arcade's channel. I love your guys' stuff. Remember, guys, VV Arcade, keep pumping out those vids, man. You guys, people are going to notice, right? So you guys have been doing really good. So I've been seeing bots sell items at low. Yeah, right. They're probably trying to get out. Been enjoying the sale. I know, me too, right? Me too. KO, same here. It's 12. Oh, thanks for staying up so late. Don't, don't get in trouble at work tomorrow because you stayed up late watching me, right? So we all get young. We also got Young Avengers 1, which could be a huge girl. Yeah, that was a good one, right? So good night. Oh, you're in Portugal. Okay, have a good night. Linux Tech, good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Get a good night's sleep. Danny boy, keep up the good work. Mycollectables, let's chat someday. Yeah, man, we're chatting right now. There you go. We got Sleeping Comics in the house. How you doing, Sleeping? You're doing great, I'm sure. I like to know how you're what you're thinking too about what's going on recently with the stuff, and how you think it might affect comics too. So we'll definitely chat about that. We got James, really want to save my gems for the drops on Comic-Con week, but also really want that Ultimate Fallout 4 rare and Fantastic 4 or 5 rare with their floors coming down. I know, right? Oh, okay, the Ultimate Fallout 4 rare. Okay, let me just ask everybody here. Let's just go really quickly here. Let's go to the U to Z. Really here, like I can find this one quick if I sort, right? There we go. Ultimate Fallout. Okay. So, okay, is this comic book here potentially the nicest comic book we have in VV? Is this not the most beautiful comic book in VV potentially, aside from the aesthetic of the original covers of the old school comics and some of the new covers and some of the exclusives? But look at this cover right here. I mean, boom. It's so beautiful, right? So I don't own that comic. It's $129. Oh, look at that. Jay Myers. Man, look at the floor. 129, 145, 165. That's actually really nice. That's a good entry point on that comic. And then you get to the ultra rare, and we're talking 315. This one's cool too. So this is just a massive comic. But like I said, oh man, I did that video a few days ago on the comics that I need to buy, that I really need to buy. And this was one of them. And it was up to 2,700 at that point. But look, a couple people are creeping it down. $23.99 for Ultimate Fallout Secret Rare. Look at this beauty cover right here. Look, Dr. Doom up there. I mean, look at that. Look at Mr. Fantastic right there. Look at this. And look at that. Who's that right there up in the corner? Huh? Is that the Black Cat? I think it is. Check it out. Oh, and by the way, this is just a little tip for you guys. The Black Cat, okay, the Black Cat comic. Let me just go right here to the market really quick. Let's go to comics and let's go to Amazing Spider-Man just really quick. Just bear with me. Hold on one sec. This comic book right here, you guys. Okay, so I have the secret rare on it. It's 180, so that's nice. I'm really happy. I think I got it at like 125. Look at the ultra rare on that. Very beautiful cover. But here's the thing. This comic book right here, if you follow comics in the real world, right? This comic book is rising in the rankings right now. So there's I tweeted about this a couple days ago. I think yesterday, actually. So there's a ranking. I think it's on Go Collect, I think. I can't remember the website that I was going to all the time for it. It's a nice ranking. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I tweeted about it. So go check out my tweet. This comic went up 32 spots in the top 100 in the real world in regards to sales, because people think she's coming right at some point, and they think she might be in the Sonyverse, which is where the Venom is right now. And because now they're crossing that over, right? And also Andrew Garfield just signed up for his movies, right? The Amazing Spider-Man, right? And they could introduce her there because remember, he doesn't have a love interest, right? Remember, he lost Gwen Stacy. And if you follow the comic book history, Mary Jane and the Black Cat sort of around near the same time were introduced to Spider-Man, and he had a bit of a love interest with her. So she's going to be coming, right? And so I don't know what they'll do with her, if it'll be really, but that comic book in the real world is rising up the rankings. So it's a potential one that you could look at if you want, right? So I have the secret rare. So uncommon 3 digits. Yeah, they're beautiful. 3 digits on anything is rare, man. Thanks so much, John. I appreciate it. I love your Jordan logo there. I got an Iron Man GM for $365. Oh. Also, do you think Jim Lee Batman will be right under Grail status? Got one today. Well, it has the higher selling fee, right? The Jim Lees. So those are good. Like if you're talking about the more recent ones, they theoretically shouldn't sell as quickly because it's 8%, right? So if they do that with all DC stuff, this is what I want them to do. That's great on the Iron Man, by the way. I would like VV. I'm gonna blow my screen up a little bit here for this. Okay, VV. Okay, if you're listening to me, VV, and I, you know how much I love you, but can you just make the selling fees on everything the same? Can you just get rid of the 2% selling fee on Batman and Superman and all the rest of those and just make it 8%? Just get rid of it. This is what I want. Okay. I want them all in the even playing field because Superman just won't fly until you get him out of that fee, at least with the market we have, right? I mean, he should be like 10,000 gems. He's, Superman's FA. It's ridiculous, right? Like it's Superman, right? And it's because the fee is just like, people sell him, right? So VV, please just like go in, adjust all the selling fees, just make them all the same, and I would be really happy with that. Make them all 8%. I don't care. Let's have these collectibles battle each other by IP and not by selling fee, because I really don't like that, right? Anyway, that's just what I want. I know it's not going to happen, but we'll see what happens. Very large majority of Disney buyers are not here yet. A lot of lenticular are FA. Yeah, right? I love those, right? Pride 2. Yeah, I really like Pride 2. And if they add utility to it, you guys, like they're talking about they're going to, like they literally said they're going to. I don't know what that means though, like museums or something or whatever. That's going to be great. And I really would like to get a Pride 2. I really don't care about the whole fiasco at the beginning because, Thor's eyes weren't there. I still bought the secret rare, and I really don't care about that stuff. As long as they fix it and they're all good, I don't really get hung up on it. And, I also don't panic sell if something like that happens and lose all my gems. So you got to be smart, right? So I understand why people were annoyed, but you really just don't sell. Just wait, give VV a chance to fix the problem before you just panic sell. Just my opinion, right? But I like the Pride 2, right? So I don't own it though. Okay. I don't own any of that stuff right now. Are you going all in on Amazing Fantasy 15 if it drops? Yeah, for sure, Surreal. But what I'm not going to do is sell all of my great stuff to do it. I'm not going to liquidate all my great stuff to go after that one comic. I'm just going to bring more money into the app, and I'm going to be smart with my, with what I'm doing right now. If it comes, and I'm going to go after it, and I'm going to at least secure one or two. I'm going to try to get, if it's a 30,000 copy, I'll try to get a secret rare like everybody else. And I'll definitely get some commons if they have the regular cover, but I don't know what they're going to do with the numbers. And I don't even know like when they'll drop it or if. Like I thought we were going to get Thor's first appearance this week, but we didn't. And I don't know if we will get it now. And that's super disappointing for me. I'm not upset. I just want the comic. So I was preparing for that one too. But because we didn't get that one, now it makes me, okay, well, I can look ahead maybe to AF15. And of course I'll go all in on it, but I'm not going to go all in where I like wipe everything out to go for it. I'm not crazy like that. I don't want to do that. Right. So thanks, Fro Comey. Thanks a lot. Good to see you, man. Don't do it. Throw some likes to get more people in there. Yeah. Thanks, Rob Stuff. Voltron rocks. Yeah. Voltron's all right. I don't mind him. Morbius Ultra Rare for 38. Nice. Dr. Doom and Fantastic Four 5 Doom is 39 gems. Yeah. That's a great comic book. Just the common, right? Might as well give us Spider-Man's web shooters. Yeah, I know, right? They like, you know what I mean? With that, they could do that. Are you talking about because what I said about the lightsabers? I mean, honestly, guys, you wait. Okay. You heard it here. Okay. And I heard it from somewhere else. So I'm not saying I heard it from David Yu or anything. I don't know those guys. I wish I do. Maybe one day I'll get to meet them and shake their hand. That'd be cool. But I've heard that. It's not just me making it up. I've heard the lightsabers is a thing, right? So do you think MCP will be a game changer? I really don't know. I think so, but we have to see how it's going to be, right? I'll wait. I'll pass my judgment later. I'm just going to keep on I'm going to keep on thinking about it and trying to plan for it and get my MCP points up. If you calculate them daily, if you watch my videos about my monthly roster review, I am calculating my master collector points, the daily ones, trying to make sure that they stay above a level. And by the way, secret rare comics really help you. Thanks, Fun Under the Sun. I appreciate you. You bring a lot of fun too. Thank you so much. Just your name brings a lot of fun. Thanks so much. There's Kobe Collects. How you doing? Oh man, we got to sit down with you, dude. And we got to ask you what you think about everything and the gems and all that, so I know you're a major player. So we got to ask you about that, hopefully, I don't know if you've put that out yet, Kobe, but we'd love to see your complete thoughts in a video. I mean, it's just a request. I just love to see it, what you think and what it's going to do and your experience. That would be really neat. I don't know if you want to do that, but that would be cool, right? So Kobe's sweating. Yeah, Kobe's not sweating. He's doing great. I'm seeing people really trying to sell their gems for low when payout is already here. Interesting. Yeah, it is interesting, right? So it's interesting, I think it's just because it's fast. the whole notion of selling your gems off app is you could do it really quickly, right? Whereas the payout's going to take time. So I think there's always going to be like a desire to do it because of time, right? So, and also there's like a whole taxes implication thing, right? Where it's kind of off the books. Like when you go to like a flea market and you buy something under the table with cash, and then you're not like telling the government you bought it, and you're selling stuff too. Like there's just probably something to do with that too in there. I'm seeing people, yeah. So VV Arcade, I wish we could get gems while it was around. So I was so against it. Yeah, I saw you say that, VV Arcade. You were like back in like what was it, January, February? You're like, right. And then you were able to, you were able to get a few because, right. But like I haven't done it very often, very, very, very rarely. And I only did it with people that I really trust. I know they were selling their own gems, right? So the Death Star, I know, right? Fully armed and operational VV app, everybody. Have you been helping structure the comic connected to the Bat Cowl? No, I haven't, Surreal Wonder. I haven't paid attention to my Bat Cowls at all. I don't even remember getting the email. Like I have my Bat Cowl and I love it and I'm holding on to it. And I have my NFT of my neighborhood or my district or whatever. And I got a legendary comic in there. I bought one just to have, and I have those 3. And now I'm just sitting back. I haven't participated in any of the any of the Bat Cowl stuff, like the voting. And because I don't even think I saw the email, I must have deleted it, I must have just like not seen it. So I'll just, I'm still loving the project. I'll just see where it goes. I'm still holding it. Right. So you're in the Big Dipper. Duck Cover. I always understood that people wanted their money, but always hated that it was allowed. Yeah, I know. So, I'm never saying that like VV allowed it. They haven't really stopped it until now. Tried to like really stop it. So, at least as far as I could see. Right. So we should call this week, this 2022 before Cashout BC. Yeah. Oh yeah. like the years, like July 22 BC. Good one. Alex Ross's Timeless series in real life a year ago were amazing covers. Yeah, the guy is just, I mean, could you imagine if you could illustrate like that? My goodness, right? The art's crazy, right? There you go. Yeah, VV Arcade. Kobe, it was completely necessary while we had to cash out. It's a good move. If anyone's still buying or selling gems is risking their account, it's now officially against TOS. And MCP by Christmas would be phenomenal. Yeah, so, I'm just going by the book. Like I said, now that it's in there, like I'm not doing anything outside the book. And I would recommend strongly everybody to do that if you want to stick around. But everybody just do whatever you want. I mean, it's your account, you do what you want. Yeah, you resented it, but now I feel we should have taken advantage of the cheap gems. Yeah, Vivi should not have allowed it, but I'm glad we were moving past it. Yeah, so I had a whole theory about they're didn't really put a stop to it, even though they could have put that in there at any time. And I think it allowed a lot of people to cash out who wanted to, that way we wouldn't have some crazy dip happening right now, like crazy dip. That was kind of like probably, I mean, these guys are smart. They know what they're doing, right? I thought I was the only one against it. Yeah, no, there's lots of people who didn't like it for sure, right? First 9 months, I bought only on app until David and Dan gave another green light. Definitely wish I did it earlier though. Yeah, because people were doing it like well before it was really announced, right? Or it was like really became prevalent, right? Henry, hey, there's some awesome deals right now, but saving gems for Comic-Con. Yeah, right. There's going to be great deals coming. Who knows what they're going to drop that weekend? They're apparently supposed to drop a whole bunch of stuff. I think I even heard something like 5 drops a day or something. And some of them will probably be like exclusive, like if you're there, there'll be promo codes and who knows what's coming. It's going to be super fun. You definitely have loved to take advantage of the cheap gems, but knew it was just keeping my new money from entering the market. We could have made a lot more if I had though. Yeah. So people had a theory about that. You should go look at Dr. Profit's tweet. And I don't know him at all, but he had a theory about that actually where, and I don't want to speak for him or anything. So I'm probably not going to say it right. But the fact that people were buying them up at a certain point and then bringing them into the market and raising the floors on stuff by buying them all up, it says it's not a negative thing that happened. Something along those lines, right? So, there's positives and negatives to it. We need some more miles. I know, right? Jim 85 secret rare. Should I hold? Journey into Mystery 85 secret rare. Should you hold? Yeah, man, I'm holding all my secret rares if I can. Let's have a double. Realize I'm flying out to meet my daughter. Well, have a good one. I hope you did. I hope you have a great one, man. We'll see you. Oh, I thought you were leaving right now. Oh, you're flying out your daughter for the holidays the day Comic-Con kicks off. You're going to miss all the drops. Oh, well, that's okay, Duck and Cover. They'll be in the market, right? So, and by the way, that sounds like probably a good reason to miss drops. No Wi-Fi. Yeah, I know, right? I know. How you doing, Bob Sales? Good to see you, everybody, again. Good to see you. That Star Wars Secret Rare is interesting. Not as expensive as I thought it would be at this point in time. Yeah, it's okay. The edition sizes are pretty high on it. That's what keeps it from being really massive at the moment. But I'm keeping it. I'm holding it myself, right? Absolutely love the ultra rare and Star Wars covers. Yeah, they're fantastic. They're very unique. Like they're iconic. Like it's the first Secret Rare Star Wars comic. I know some people like to discount the first of things, but it really is. It's the only secret. It's Star Wars Secret Rare comic, first of its kind, and it's the Star Wars #1. So it has a special place. That's why the common is worth quite a bit, you guys. If nobody cared about it, the common would be worth 10 gems or something, or 8 gems, right? But it's not. So it definitely has value, right? And people like it and they want to keep it. But you've seen some creeping down, in the Secret Rare. So, that happens right now. That's what's going to happen right now. Keep your eyes open for some deals, right? Hey, Collects, did you go for the Rewind Collective Pixelated Hero drop today? The Rewind Collective Pixelated Heroes drop today. Today we didn't have that, right? Today we just had the comic book. I didn't go for the Rewind Collective drop, actually. I didn't actually go for that one myself, right? So my favorite positive person you should have Sleeping Comics on. That would be a good conversation. Yeah, we've chatted a couple times. Definitely. We'll do that in the future. House of Powers of X Secret Rare is the Grail cover art for me. Yeah, how they go together, right? They're so great. Ultraman, the MCU. I don't know. We'll see, right? That would be cool. Hey, Jayco. Yeah, he doesn't speak for all of us in VB. Yeah, me or someone else. I definitely don't speak for everybody. I speak for myself and myself alone. If that's what you're talking about. Jayco, I bought 250 gems today to scoop up more stuff. Yeah, nice. There you go, right? It's actually really nice on the app. It's really easy. You don't have to buy like a set amount of gems. If you want to buy a comic and you're like 595 short, like 595 gems short, it will actually just top it up to the exact amount, right? So when I was buying a comic, I actually got 0 gems in the app at one point, because I needed like 6 or 7 gems to get that Secret Rare. I can't remember which one it was. It was like a week ago. And I bought through the app and I entered all my credit card and I bought it. And then I thought I had to buy like a set amount, like 10 or whatever, but it literally just topped up the exact amount of gems I wanted. And so then I looked in my profile and I had literally 0 gems. It was kind of funny. Yeah, do the web shooters. Yeah, I know, right? So drop price prediction for AF15 if we get it. Normal $6.99 or 15 like Star Wars. Yeah, I think it's the $6.99. I don't think they're going to give us 100,000 copies either. I don't know. We'll see, right? They could do I had a conversation on, I think, a Twitter space. We were talking all about it. Just different things they could do. They could do like imagine if they just did one cover and it was just the one comic itself, and they give it like, I don't know, 18,000 editions or something. They've been doing some weird stuff with the numbers lately. So we'll see what happens, right? But, probably a $6.99. 15 would probably be the highest they would go, but we'll see. We'll see. Whatever they do, I don't care. I just want it. You posted about it the first day outlawed. Oh, okay. Yeah. It was great while it lasted, necessary without MTL, cash out 300 people that needed, including the VV team. Interesting, right? So they knew, right? And they were okay. Like they weren't putting a stop to it, right? So it's be a quick $6.99 to $20K for some people. Oh yeah, if you get the secret. So if it's a regular Secret Rare 30 comic, like 30,000 edition, the Secret Rare is 600, but really it's only 550. Because you can't get that 50 or whatever it is. Yeah. And then you get it for $6.99. You get the Secret Rare on the drop. Yeah. It's a 20K comic. I think it's going to rival Marvel Comic 1 personally. The Alchemist. How you doing, buddy? Great videos. I've been buying specific collectibles for cheap prices right now. I bought the first appearance number 575 for 274 gems. What are your thoughts? First appearance number 575. Of which one, Alchemist? I'm really sorry. Which one are you talking about right there? Like which first appearance? Because it sounds good. It sounds good. Did I miss what you said there? Yeah. Did you hear about the Squid Grow, the SHIB billionaire, his own project? He is tired of shitcoins and making his own meme utility coin. Check it out. Well, thanks, Nicholas. I'm not interested at all. But thanks for letting me know. I don't really want to go into, I'm good with the main coins, but that's okay. I mean, we'll see what happens, right? He's going to make his own comic. Great. Yo, zombie attack. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. We got AF15, probably going to be a limited edition size, like Amazing Spider-Man 252. Oh my God. So I was talking about this, right, in a Twitter space. And I've been going into some Twitter spaces more, right? And some of them are kind of nuts and some of them are really cool. And we were talking about this, right, with this comic here. Where is it? I mean, let's just sort. I don't want to search. Let's sort. Okay, so we were talking about this comic right here, right? Okay, and you know, it's this comic right here, right? Woo! Get one in the physical world, you guys. It's beautiful. It's a really good story too. It's a super fun story. But this cover right here is the mirror. It's the mirror cover of Amazing Fantasy 15, right? It's the same cover, right? So, but modernized, and we have to ask the question, and this is what I asked, just threw it out there. It's just a theory. Like, why did this particular comic get such a low edition size? Like, why did this comic, come out at the edition size it was? So let's look at it. It's like $17.50. It's a good deal right there, everybody. Let's see right here. We got only 425 editions. So why did they give us this comic in a low edition? Like this particular one. They could have done this with anything, right? This comic is not exactly a massive key comic in the real world. It's a key comic. Like it signifies his transition into the black suit, and that whole storyline with Venom starts off right here. I mean, it's Secret Wars 8 is where he got the suit, but this is where it transitions, right? So they give us 1,000 copies of this comic, like overall. Why? Like, why did they do that, right? Well, what if, okay, and I don't want to freak anybody out, but this is what I've been thinking over the last while. Like, this is where my mind goes. It keeps me up at night. What if they do the same thing with AF15? What if that's the reason? They just do the exact same thing with that comic and they give us 1,000 editions of it. Because here's the theory, right? Some people think oh, they're going to give us 60,000 copies of AF15 if it comes to the app. And some people think, 100,000, because they want everyone to have it. And they also want to sell a lot, right? They want to sell a lot of copies because it makes the money. Okay. And that comic would sell out in like half a second, no matter how many editions you gave to it, right? But David Yu is also a collector. He's also a really big time collector. And they bought an Amazing Fantasy comic like in Vegas, I think. Remember when they had the Decon thing? And I heard there's a report one of them like bought one of these comics or something. I think they were in Vegas and they bought one. And I think they posted about it. So like they know the significance of the AF15 scarcity, right? So I personally don't want them to give us 100,000 Amazing Fantasy 15s. Like I don't want that. I don't want everybody to have one. I mean, I want to have one for myself, but I don't want it to be like a $25 comic book, like The Common or something, or $100 comic book. I want it to be like big time. So my thought was that they could go the same size as this, because this one they did it with, and they're like they're mirrors. They're like brothers, right? And so, and if they did that and they threw a big marketing thing behind it, like at the San Diego Comic-Con, so they have like, they're going to announce they're going to do Amazing Fantasy 15, and there's only 1,000 of them, and you can download the VV app, and it's going to be like, say it's $6.99, and you get a chance at it. People there, because that's where you do exclusives, that is a great marketing ploy to get people to download the app, because any comic collector who goes and downloads the app that day, who goes for this, and even if they don't get it, because if you make it really scarce, people then have an expectation that they won't get it. And then it just becomes more of a lottery, right? But then they'll be in the app, they've downloaded it, they've signed up, and now maybe they'll start buying comics, right? That's my hope, and then the comic would be super scarce and really valuable, like it should. Amazing Fantasy 15, you guys, should not be 50 gems in the marketplace. As a comic book collector, I mean, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Amazing Fantasy 15 for 35 gems in the VV market. I want it to be You know, I don't know what I want it to be, but I don't want it to be 35 gems with 40,000 editions or something. I don't want that. That's what I don't like about Marvel Comics 1, even though it's an amazing, unbelievable. I don't like there's 48,000 editions of it. I don't even own a single copy of the common and Marvel Comics 1 because there's so many editions. Now I'm trying to get a low mint so that way I can have an elite version of Marvel Comics 1, a low mint, like a 4-digit or a 3-digit. And I'm trying to wait for a good price on that. And I keep looking at it all the time, and maybe I'll be able to snipe one. And I'm not going to get to the secret rare anytime soon, obviously. And I don't want the other variations in between. I just, it's either the pure full cover or one day the secret rare. But I don't like how it has 48,000 editions. Like, I don't like that. I like I like scarcity, and I don't mind if I don't own it. If I don't own Amazing Fantasy 15 because there's 1,000 editions and I didn't get it on the drop, but it's sitting there in the store for like 8,000 gems, like the common or something. I don't care. I think that's amazing for anyone who owns it. And also it makes the app super powerful. That's how I look at it. I don't want everybody to have that comic. Like, everybody gets Amazing Fantasy 15. Oh, here you go. Everybody gets one. No, not that comic. I don't want everyone to have it. If I get that comic, I want to be one of the only people who have it. It's that kind of comic for me. That's why I'm going after the secret rare comic books, because there's only 500 or 600 of them, and there's not that many people that can own one. So this is how I think. Now, you can totally think a different way. That's totally cool. You can disagree. You can want everybody to get, a copy, and, and that might be really good for the app. Maybe everybody does get one. Like, you get one, like the old Oprah Winfrey meme, right? Like the car. Oh, you get Amazing Fantasy 15, you get Amazing Fantasy 15. Everyone gets one, and then everyone gets one. And maybe it makes them download the app and say, oh, okay, great. Now they'll start buying all the other comics that are valuable. And Amazing Fantasy 15 will be at 80 gems for the common in the market for all time, because there's 60,000 of them, right? Like, I don't want that. So let me know what you think, right? Just let me know what you think. This is just the way I think. Okay. And, Jasmine, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Was talking about a blanket 8% fee. Yeah. I just thought, like, I'm just thinking just get rid of the 2% on this and the 5%. I know it has something to do with the licensor and all that, but DC Collectibles, they just made the fee, like on the newer Batman stuff, I think it's the 8.5, right? So just do it to the other ones too. Just apply it to everything. I don't care if it's already been in here. They've already retroactively changed some NFTs. And I think that would be really positive. Like Superman, people will not let him fly where he should be because of the fee. It's just the truth. Every time he gets traction, because he has a low selling fee, people will sell them. And, it's not like there's only 500 of them. There's like 8,000, almost 9,000 of them. So there, until they get rid of that fee, or until we have like a lot of hodlers or some big money, he's always going to be kind of at this level, and he should be massive, right? Like, man, it's Superman. He should be at least where Todd is, in my opinion. But, people won't let him get there because of the fee. It's only because of the fee, everybody. Right. And, so I just want them to, even out the fee. I don't want my NFTs in this app competing because of the fee, the selling fee. I want it to be the IP, like the quality of the collectible, not this one gets liquidated because it sells for cheaper because of the fee. I don't like that. I've never liked that. Right. So, this is where I get to share my opinion, everybody. And then you get to tell me if I'm nuts or not. I love it. Is the next drop worth it? Well, there's the stamps and the hammers. So it's really up to the individual on that one. I'm not going to tell everybody whether or not they should go for a drop or not. I'm just going to tell you whether or not I'm going to go for the drop or not. Surreal Wonder, could the Red Skull Mighty Marvel hold a soul stone in the Tesseract? Oh, well, the Tesseract is its own infinity stone. So that would be impossible, because they're both an infinity stone, right? The soul stone is what you go after down below. So that version of the Red Skull is not the one that is guarding the soul stone. If you go back to the movie, I mean, the Red Skull gets like blitzed out at the end of the movie because of the Tesseract. And I think he ends up guarding the soul stone as his punishment. And they're two separate stones. So the Tesseract is literally an infinity stone. So they can be, it won't be inside the Tesseract, because the Tesseract is the stone itself. So as far as I understand it anyway, but I would love it if they came out with the Infinity Stones. Could you imagine if they came out with the Infinity Stones and Thanos's gauntlet. And then you could, like, if you got them all and put them in there, they'd all be animated. Like, that would be rad. I think everyone would love that, right? The Alchemist, hey man, great vibes. I've been buying specific collectibles for cheap prices right now. I bought the first appearance of Harley Quinn for $5.75. Oh, that okay. So it was Harley Quinn. Okay, great. What are your thoughts? Yeah, that's great. You're talking about the black and white one because that's really nice. That's really nice. I like that one. Let's go to the brands. Let's go to the black. Is it in the black and white? It is in the black and white, right? Here she is, right? This one right here. Oh, so this is number 56. Okay, so where is Harley Quinn? Let's see if I can search her up right here. Harley. Okay, where is she here? I can't remember which one that is. The 575. Let's view them all. Come on. What? This is not Harley Quinn. These are hammers. Oh my goodness. Still glitchy, everybody. We're not there yet. Okay, so it's not black. It's not black and white. The 570 is, I thought this is the one you were talking about. The Harley Quinn FA right here. Number 56. That's not the one you're talking about? Yeah, because that one's cheaper. So it's a more expensive Harley Quinn. Let me just take a quick look here. I'm curious now which one that is. I'm curious. Oh, you can. Some are still available in the store, everybody. Okay, the Steve Pugh one. That's not the one you're talking about, because that one's worth a lot. Okay. I don't. Oh, and I click on it. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, man. I don't know what I'm really sorry. I don't know which one that is, so I can't give an opinion. I'm really sorry. I'm trying to search for it on the web app, and I can't find it. But hey, man, it's a first appearance Harley Quinn for $274. That doesn't sound bad to me. Almost 2,300 comics. Is that how much you have, Jayco? Oh, dude. You just got the ultra rare from today's drop and a few Star Wars #1 and others. Prices are so cheap, like last July. Just like last July, man. You've been here a while, Jayco. Oh, man. That is crazy, dude. 2,300 comics. Wow, you're a powerhouse, man. I wish I could get to that level. You're my idol, Jayco. Steamboat Willie altogether now in January was 10K. Now it's under 800. What do you think? Do you think he has a big shot, or has he lost credibility since he's not an FA and an FE? No, I still think Steamboat Willie is amazing. I still think Steamboat Willie is fantastic. Obviously, he's not 10,000 gems right now, but like I said, everybody, this is the funny thing about the market. Okay, and this is what people don't really talk about. It's up to the sellers. It's up to you guys who own Steamboat Willie. Do you want him to be worth 800, or do you want him to be worth, whatever, 4,000? If you own Steamboat Willie right now and you want him to be worth 4,000, then delist him at 800. It's so simple. It's up to the people who own it, right? So if you want, do you know what I'm saying? If I own a bunch of comics behind me, okay? Like say I own, okay, let's take this one right here, okay? Let's take this one right here, okay? So I own this comic here, okay? And this is Avengers #11. This is when Spider-Man made his appearance with the Avengers first time. And there's some damage on it, right? This is a bit of spray paint or something. So, but anyway, so this comic right here, okay? Now, if I go and post this up on eBay for $50, it's worth $50, right? It's worth 50 because I'm posting it for 50. Now, someone will probably buy it instantly. But if I post that, if everybody owns that comic, posts it for nothing less than 2,000, well, then it's worth 2,000. It's up to us as sellers. Now, if you see other people selling it for cheap, that, you don't have to list it right beside them unless you're desperate to make a sale. You can delist and you can sell it for whatever you want, or you can list it at a higher level. And then eventually, hopefully those people will be bought out and, it'll go up. But if everybody keeps listing it for 800, then that's what it's worth. It's up to you as a seller to sell whatever you want to sell your item for. You can follow the crowd, or you can, try to push the price up by not selling cheap. The less people that list at 800 on Steamboat Willie, the quicker it'll go up in value, right? So, now I know that's just like mean, you can't control what people are going to do. The market is what the market is. And it's telling us right now it's worth 800 because that's what people are selling it for. So I don't know if it'll ever go back to 10K anytime soon. I mean, obviously, I don't think anytime soon. But this is just the weird thing about these markets, right? It's up to all of you what you want to sell your stuff for. And I refuse to sell my stuff, certain ones, for cheap. I just won't, and that means I'll have to hold on to them because other people will. But I'm fine to wait. It took me like literally 10 years to go from Star Wars toys that were low level up to the biggest grails. And I was fine doing it. And it was fun along the way. But I managed to get all the way up to the top. And I'm doing the same thing in this app. I'm literally like, I'm not even a year in. Okay. It's October, right? That's when I got here. So I'm literally on my pathway of getting to the top, and I'm working my way up slowly, and I have patience, and some people don't, and that's fine. Some people will sell cheap, and those are the people I buy from. I buy from the people who sell their stuff cheap. That's the best way to buy is the cheapest you can get. So when people sell something cheap that I want, that's great for me. I don't mind. That's fantastic, right? And then I hope the stuff that I get goes up in value because I'm not gonna list it like super low and blow it out. Like this just not my style, right? I'll like work my way up. So, that's just the way I think of it, right? Look at that 2,300 comics, Jayco. Oh my God, dude, that's incredible. Oh, Maximum Custom. I'm a bit nervous that they make AF15 a low edition size. Yeah, you and me both. Keeping me up at night. It's insanely hard to get something on the drop with only 1,000 editions. I know, but wouldn't that be like this is my thought, right? Wouldn't that be just appropriate? Like I know we all want it, right? We all want that. If you're a comic collector, most of us want that comic, right? I think anybody, even if they're not a comic collector, understands that they would want to get that on the drop. But do you want everybody to have one? Like, I don't. That's a part of collecting, right? I want to be one of the people who has it, and because it's like that's what makes it scarce. That's what makes it valuable. That's what makes it sought after. I don't want everyone to own it. I don't want them to give us 60,000 editions or something of the common, or 48,000 editions of the common. Maybe back, last August when nobody was here and only the hardcore people were here that really like the visionaries, the OGs who saw what was going on in this app and had the guts and had the smarts and had the wisdom to actually be here at that time and stack up, 500 Marvel Comics ones. And they gave them a lot of editions. And remember I always hear the stories. It came out and it was like $2 in the market or whatever, $3. Like people didn't it wasn't worth anything at the time. And people who knew bought it all up. Great. I don't think that's ever going to happen again in this app. Okay. They'll give fan food. This is just, now I don't know. They could come out and do this, right? But I think they'll give us fan food items like high editions on things that like the Black Panther was a good example. That at that particular moment, that was a really great drop because nobody could get a drop because of the bots then. So they gave us a lot of editions and we all got a Black Panther and everyone was happy, right? Because there was lots of them. And then the secret rare is still nice and scarce. So that's pretty good. But the common was way up there, right? I don't think they're going to do that again, personally. They don't need to. In fact, the edition numbers are coming down on these comics. You notice? The last couple of the edition numbers have come down, like on the mints, on the drop. So, I don't want everybody to have it. I want to be one of the ones that has it. Now, it's a double-edged sword because then I might not get it, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't have to own it. I would love it. I mean, well, I do have to own it and I will own it. Okay. I don't care what the edition size is. I will be one of the people who's going to buy it. So if you get one, if you get one, I'm talking right to you. Okay. All of you. If you get Amazing Fantasy 15 on the drop and you list it in the marketplace, I will buy it. People like me will buy it from you. Don't worry. You'll get your flip. You'll get your money and I'll get the comic. And that's perfectly cool with me. Right? Matt Smith, please help. I'll try, Matt. Do you think it's more wise to sell Secret Rare Avengers comic 47 and pick up a few cheap golden moments or keep the Secret Rare comic? Yeah, that's a tough one, Matt. I'm all about the secret rares because of the scarcity, but the golden moments, like it depends on which ones, right? So if you're going after like golden moment sets, like the original sets, I like those a lot. You know, I really think those golden moment original sets, something's going to happen with those at some point. You know, utility, whatever. You know, I think once KYC and the app's fully operational, that's why I'm keeping my Star Wars set intact, no matter what price it is, R2 and C3PO. Because if they ever airdrop some Star Wars stuff, because I own that little mini set, I'm going to be very, very happy. And I think the golden moments are perfectly set up for that. Now, if you're talking about getting like, you know, Timon and Pumbaa and the rest of them, I wouldn't personally. I keep the secret rare because of the scarcity, right? That's just me. But you do what you want to do, man. You just do what you want to do. Terrible idea to have 1,000 editions on AF15, especially at a con. Yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree, wise guy, collectibles. I actually think it's a great idea because those Comic-Cons, they actually have scarce editions on all sorts of stuff. So that's just my opinion though, right? And that's okay. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I think it's a great marketing ploy personally. Everybody gets an Amazing Fantasy 15. Oh, wow. Whoopie ding dong do. It's not worth anything. That Pride 2 drop was around 2,000 editions and it was gone in a millisecond. I couldn't even get one. Yeah, right? Boom, gone. Just like that. Did anyone see Hitmonkey prices are really low? I got a few of those today too. Is it really, hey? Hitmonkey. Let's check that one out really quick. I'm not a huge fan of the Hitmonkey comic. I don't have it or anything, but it is scarce. It does have that lower edition. So you're talking about the commons? Let's check it out. 16. So this is a 6,000 edition comic, right? Let's check out the secret rare. What's it at? 1,100. Yeah, there's only 250 of them. You know, $100 ultra rare, and there's 500 of them. So yeah, the prices on that one's pretty good. You know, that's pretty good. I don't have any of those. Yo, you guys did hold on a second here. Yo, did you guys hear about the? Yeah, you already mentioned that. Oh, VV Vibes is here. I was watching your stream earlier today. VV Vibes. Just finished drinking claws by the pool. Oh, you got to do your stream by the pool, Vibes. You got to do another stream by the pool. That was good. It's like I like seeing Dino in Hawaii, and you know, I like seeing all the pictures from, you know, my friends in Hawaii that are in the chat. You know, it's just nice, right? Amazing Fantasy 15 is likely to have 30,000 to 60,000 in my opinion. Yeah, probably, right? It's probably going to be a 30,000 comic. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to do it. I just think like, what if they did do it, right? Make it really scarce. But yeah, you know, 30,000 editions, you know, there would be nothing wrong with that. I just don't want them to go really high with it. They just don't need to, in my opinion, you know, because I think you got to look past the initial sale, right? Tomorrow's drop is way too expensive. Yeah, well, it's 60 and the edition sizes are quite a bit low. So it's not too bad, but yeah, it's probably too expensive for today's market. AM50, Amazing Spider-Man 252 and AF Amazing Fantasy 15 theory is very legit. It could be. I mean, you got those, like, if they did that, you just watch. You heard it here first, my friends. Well, you might have heard it yesterday in Spaces, but you heard it here first. And I don't necessarily want to be right on that. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be right. It's just a theory. Like, I don't know. You think selling Avengers 4 Secret Rare I got on the drop for Elsa is a good move? Personally, Riz, I would say no. I own 2 Avengers 4 Secret Rares, and I would not sell one for an Elsa. And I love Elsa. She's great. But that Secret Rare to me is a monster. It's a sleeping giant. It's already up to 500, right? I got 2. If you see me list one, it's the one with the lowest, with the higher edition, because I have other Secret Rares I have to get to. And I bought 2 on purpose. One to keep, and it's got like it's a 4-digit, and one to sell later at some point. And it's already up a couple hundred from where I bought it. So I might sell one because I'm trying to sell a couple to get up to like a certain other kind of comic, Secret Rare. You know, Strange Tales 110. I don't own it. So, but I would not sell that comic for Elsa personally. But you do whatever you want. If you think, I mean, Elsa's great. People love Elsa, right? I think he meant the black and white Harley Quinn. But mint number. Oh, okay, James. Yeah, no, that's fantastic then, man. That's fantastic. Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to figure out, I got confused. I think Vivi should do a seller's market, not a buyer's. We will get a seller's market when we get more collectors. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a buyer's market right now. It's been that way for a couple months. I made tons of videos about it. Do you think that the Grogu Secret Rare animated comic comes to Vivi? Would it surpass Walt? Do you think if a Grogu secret rare animation comes to be, it would surpass Walt? No, I don't think so, Alchemist. I think Walt is just is a monster. And when they add utility to Walt, people are going to be really shocked because that's going to happen. Grogu secret rare would be fun. I don't think that Grogu secret rare would be huge. Sorry, Grogu. He's going to kill me later. He's going to choke me in my sleep. Yeah, we talked about Ultraman a bit earlier. I think he's okay. I don't really have a ton of thoughts about Ultraman, though. He's not on my radar. And I've done videos about Ultraman, and I've focused on him. And he's like an untapped, collectible. But I don't think anybody cares about Ultraman right now, which is probably a good time to buy him, right? If you want. And I don't know when they will care about him, right? So I try to stick with the stuff that I know that everybody always cares about, like Spider-Man and stuff like that. When is Comic-Con? It's the 21st of July. All right. Smarty Pants. I own 10 rare uncommon, 10 rare Ultraman Ace FAs. Nice. You believe they will blow up when places like Japan get in the app? Yeah, man. I agree with you 100%. I definitely think that he's going to have his day. He's super he's very famous, just not with the current user base, right? So Eagle Eyes, thank you so much for the super chat. Great job. Secret Rare Fantastic Four 1, Fantastic Four 5, and Ultimate Fallout 4 is what I doubled. Nicely done, Eagle Eyes. Wow, dude, that's incredible. I have one of those, Fantastic Four 5, and I can't even believe I own it, honestly. I can't even believe people are selling it. Like, let's look at this. People can do whatever they want. No judgment, of course. You just do your thing, right? Whatever you got to do. Whatever you want to do, you just do it. I'm not going to stand up here and say, oh, you're an idiot or anything like that. I would never say that to people. Do whatever you want. But I would not sell this. I got mine at 1750, so I'm super happy. So it's already up a bit, but like this to me is like all-time great. So, I'm just working my way up to that top 5, and I'll show you really quick. Okay. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I'm working my way up. I'm going to open up the Vault Value app because I love it. It's a quick little common app right here. Okay. Let's go to the, let's go to the secret rares. Okay. You can't see this, but let me just show you this right here. If you want to see it. Okay. You just had a thought. Just imagine if you somehow get a secret rare Amazing Fantasy 15 on a drop, life-changing. Exactly. Wouldn't you want that opportunity? I'm happy. I'd be happy with that. Now check it out. You can see right here. I'll shrink myself down here a little bit. Here are the top secret rares in the app. Okay. There's Fantastic Four 5 right there at 2,000. Now it was up to 2,400 just a day or so ago, but people have, decided they want to sell it. Ultimate Fallout 4 right there. So there's hardly anything in front of Fantastic Four 5, right? Avengers 8, because it's only 250 of them. Fantastic Four 1, of course. Spider-Man 1, of course. By the way, down to 4,500 if you have the gems on that. Fallout at 2,400, which is, it was like 1,400 like a little while ago. Fantastic Four 5, right there. Thor, Daredevil, Journey into Mystery, Strange Tales, like all the big players. Hitmonkey's up there too. Amazing Spider-Man 3 was higher. It was at 1,300, but that's okay. Star Wars is holding strong. I mean, Marvel Spotlight's great. Look at the price on that one. Amazing Spider-Man 50, great. Like these are all really nice comics. So once you get into this range, look at Avengers 4 right there. There's 55 of them. It's going for 510. So when you cut those listings in half down to 25, what's it going to be worth? That's what I'm banking on. That's why I wouldn't sell him for Ultra. Sorry. Ultra. Elsa in an Ultraman suit. That's just personally me. Amazing Spider-Man 252 secret rare is 400,000 or something. Yeah, it's right there. It's there it is. I mean, the price on this isn't really anything because there's only 2 for sale. It's 500,000. So it's not even like I don't even know what that would be. But if this was Amazing Fantasy 15, somebody would buy that at 500,000. Like somebody would buy that. They wouldn't buy this one, but they would buy that, I think, right? Pavel, how you doing? Good to see you. 20,000 mint might be the new norm. Yeah, right? They're going the other way with mints. So I don't see them doing Amazing Fantasy 15 if they even do it. Now, like I said, we didn't get Thor's FA, which I was really predicting and hoping we would get, but we didn't get it this week. But, you know, I'm sure eventually we'll get that comic. Maybe we'll get it on, you know, on Sunday or Monday or something. I don't know. But it looks like we might be done with the Thor stuff, right? So I hope not, because, you know, we got stamps on Saturday and who knows what they're going to transition into now. But hopefully we get that Thor first appearance Thor comic. But like, you know, if this comic right here was Amazing Fantasy 252 for $500,000 and there's only 40 of them, do you think someone would buy it? Yes, they would. They would buy that. Okay. They're not going to buy this one. Probably. Holding low digit secret rare and flipping high mints is the way. Yeah, man. Good plan, Eagle Eyes. I got a Mycollectables Loki on the marketplace. You did. Good. You got one. Nicely done. Yeah, I had some of those Lokis. I flipped a couple. So that's good. That Loki one is great to stack if you want. It's just a great stack, especially now. Let's check out the Lokis right here. 252 of them. It's at 20, so it's still there at 20. They're actually, the listings went up quite a bit. It was under 300. Now it's about 350. So, you know, it's just 20, but it's, you know, it's Loki. He could be worth more than that. It should be worth double that. You picked up a Young Avengers 1 secret rare for 140. Nicely done. Yeah, I got one for 125, and anywhere in that range is great. Even now is probably pretty good. Yeah, I did see it, Pavel. We talked about the stamps earlier and how the American stamps are really beautiful. I'm going to be very interested in that stamp to see what it looks like if they give us the stamp itself, like just clean. But if they give it to us on some, you know, artistic-y background, I won't like it as much. Dr. Doom might become the next great villain of the MCU. Yeah, of course. You know, they're not done with Doom. He's just on the way. Yeah. Any thoughts on Spider-Man 14 Green Goblin? I love it. I have the secret rare on that. Beautiful cover. Edition size does hurt the common for sure. And I don't mean hurt it. I just mean it like, you know, it keeps it from being like super, you know, like a $50 comic, but it's been up to 35 to 40 gems, right? Here we go. There's only 238 of them. Hold on a second. Okay. Let's, I'm about to show it and it like, I wasn't showing it there. I'm like, oh yeah, look at this comic over here. And like, I didn't even have it on screen, but like, there it is right there. Right. So it's like 10 or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of editions of it, but it's a gorgeous cover. And, you know, any comic book collector that comes to the app is going to want to pick one of these up. But I just did the secret rare. I picked up the secret rare right here. 339 to 340, something like that. You know, it goes from 339, by the way, to 380, then to 400. So thin floors, everybody, even though it has more editions. You know, VV Vibes. Yeah, I think Dr. Doom will be the next big villain. Kang can be a repeat villain. Yeah, you were talking about that. He can go back and forth, and there's multiple versions of Kang. Just so you know. I'll show you this right here, just so you know, and that just goes into what Vibes is talking about right there. So this right here, this is Avengers number 10. Okay. So it's 2 issues after Kang's first appearance, but look, see this guy over here? That's Immortus. That's Kang. That's a version of Kang. That's the older version of Kang. It's, if you watch the Loki show, it's that's the version of Kang we saw at the old castle at the end of time. He's an older version of Kang. It's the man who remains is what he also calls himself. But that's Immortus right there. Okay. So Kang has been through like multiple different variations of him, depending on which version. So, you know, this is his first appearance. I hope we get this comic too, by the way. So that's a really nice comic in the real world too. Pretty valuable as well. Right. So am I still holding my 2 Superman? I am not holding my 2 Superman. I am not right now. Interested to see the Todds and Vaders come down a bit. Vader surpassed Todd last night. I know the 2 of them are duking it out. The 2 of them are duking it out. Here's Vader right here. 2388 now. He's climbed. Okay. And I got a theory for you. Oh, he passed Todd. See? Vader passed Todd, everybody. And trust me, I have both, so I'm happy. They can duke it out all the way to the top, if you ask me. Now, people are asking about this, right? Call me crazy, but I'm going for the stamps and skipping the hammers. Yeah, no, why not, right? The stamps are cool. You know, the older school stamps, the US stamps are beautiful, right? It really depends. Like I said, if they put a bunch of stuff around them, then no. If they make them just clean, then I will like that in my vault, actually. It would look really nice, right? So anyway, the thing about the Todds and Vaders, okay, there's a way to win. There's a way to win for you. I'm going to tell you right now, there's only one way to win. People are saying, which is better, Todd or Vader, right? The OGs are saying, obviously saying, I think there's a battle going on here, okay? And I could be wrong. I think the battle, like the OGs are like, oh, Todd's the best. He's #1 on the app, right? And then the newer people are like, well, Vader is a bigger name. There's less of them. He has a higher selling fee. So maybe he's the one, right? He's going to be better. Okay. And they're battling it out. You can see it in the marketplace right now. It is a grudge match. Okay. Oh, hold on a second. It is a grudge match between these two, you know? And by the way, Vader has less listed. Okay. So there he is at 2388. Now there's one way you can win this battle. Okay. There's one way you come ahead. If you're asking yourself, which one do I get? Do I go for Vader or do I go for Todd? Like, which one's better? Which one should I hold? There's only one way to win. Own them both. Get both. I have both. Then you win no matter what. Okay? Just sit back and watch them duke it out all the way to 10K. I don't care. I own both. And I've thought about selling the Todd. Blasphemy. Because I know some people have recently. I thought about, well, I could just flip him, get another Vader, right? Get 2 Vaders and not have Todd. You know, just, you know, because there's certain things about Todd that, you know, like the selling fee is a bit of a kicker for him. You know, it's the DC selling fee thing, right? It kind of sucks. But I don't think Todd really reacts as much to that as like Superman. Superman gets his butt kicked all the time because of the selling fee. Same with Wonder Woman and, you know, Joker. I mean, all these, like, they should not be getting their butt kicked because they have a fee attached to them, a low fee. They should all be the same. And then we can let them duke it out by character, right? I mean, I don't want to, like, Superman should not be down because of his selling fee. They should have the same selling fee as the new DC stuff. I mean, it's just, I think it's just dumb. I think they need to fix that. Anyway, but you can, like, you know, like, you can debate which one's better, right? Todd or Batman. I mean, sorry, Todd or Vader. Okay. But I say just own them both. That's my strategy. Which one's better? Which one should I own? All of them. Then you win regardless. Oh, man. Stacking New Mutants 98 common under 10. Yeah, that's a good one too. That's the Cable one, right? No. That's Deadpool. Nicely done. Yeah, Deadpool, man. New movie coming as well. I feel all X-Men secret rares are extremely undervalued. Yeah. X-Men, they're famous. I mean, the X-Men, right? You know, they're all great. Joey, happy I found your stream. Thanks, Joey. I'm happy you're here, man. Good to see you. What's your icon say there? VV Kids. Oh, that's cool. What's that all about, Joey? Is that like a thing for kids and stuff? Blada Jr., what's your thoughts on Luke Cage Secret Rare? Only 17 on market. Nobody talks about it. I know the Luke Cage Secret Rare is nice. I know that somebody who picked that up recently. Who picked that up recently? I saw someone on Twitter. They said they got one. It's one of the 4 they got. I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, it's a nice secret rare. I don't own that secret rare. But there's lots that I don't own that I still want to get to. It's great. You know, I mean, you know, Luke Cage had his show and it wasn't exactly super popular, but they'll bring him in. Don't worry. He's got a future. Yeah, Todd versus Vader versus Doom secret rare. All 3 of those, right? I own all 3, so I don't have to choose. I went out and got all 3 of those. So I'm good. I'm set. I'm just going to sit back and I'll let you guys duke it out. You know, Vader and Todd can duke it all the way up to 10,000. I have both. I'm happy. I'm good. 2 Supermans or a Todd right now. I'll take the Todd. And I love Superman. Trust me. Like I said, I think it's a disgrace that he's so cheap. And it's because of the selling fee. You know, people will refuse to let Superman fly, you know, just because they can sell him for 2.5%. That's the only reason. I mean, he looks really great. I mean, some people don't like the way he looks, but I think most people think Superman is really nice looking in the app. He has slightly more additions than Todd, right? And Todd was the first on the app, of course. You know, the OGs really, you know, that's really important for the OGs. New people, there's this argument going around now where new people are like, well, are new people going to care which one's the first? Are they going to care that Todd was the first? Or are they just going to go after Vader because it's Vader, you know, because it's just Darth Vader? I mean, we have a lot of Batman stuff in the app, right? So this is the battle. But, you know, Todd is the first, okay? Oh, and it's Todd McFarlane too. I mean, like, you know, it's amazing, right? So that's the battle going on. And Vader just passed him. He's got less editions and he's got a higher selling fee. So people aren't as quick to sell Vader. At least they probably won't be. But Todd is just so iconic for this app that, you know, I've thought about it a lot, especially this week. I've thought about it. I've thought about whether I should sell my Todd and get a second Vader. And I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to keep Todd. I'm going to keep him. I'm going to have both. Yeah, he's the cheapest to sell. That's the thing, right? Dropheads t-shirt clubs. What do you think? Yeah, I got my shirt right here. You guys can get one. Links in the description, up on eBay. I think there's one left. I think there's one left on eBay. I might do another order, but I think there's one t-shirt left. You can go buy one if you want. They're almost sold out. I literally think there's one left. You had 3 Ultra Rare Vaders, sold one for a Todd a few weeks ago. Yeah, right. Just flip one, get them both if you can. I mean, just let them duke it out in the market, right? These are the collectibles that I own, everybody. This is it. This is all I own. I don't own any other collectibles. This means that my, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only own 6 collectibles at the moment, you know, and it's not because I don't like collectibles. Believe me, I do. But these are the ones that I have right now in my collection. You're seeing them right here. This is it. Vader on the drop, R2 on the drop, C-3PO on the drop, Secret Thor I got for $3.99. Todd I bought for $20.50, and Spider-Man I got for like $3.99. That's the rare. And I don't own anything else at the moment. Now, I have had Lokis. I've had all sorts of stuff. I've done flips and stuff like that. You know, it's just me, right? Just me. Selling fee is awesome in my opinion. Why are we paying 8.5? Yeah, okay. That's probably a better thing, John. You're probably right. Let's lower the selling fee on everything. Forget raising it. Thank you, John. That's even better. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. I'm going to go back here. Okay, Vivi, I love you. Lower the selling fee on everything down to Superman. Let's have them compete at the lower fee, not the higher fee. That's a better strategy. I like it. So you hearing that, Vivi? I hope you're hearing it. I know you're not hearing it, but I hope you're hearing it. I want them to compete as characters and edition numbers, not selling fees. That's not fair, man. I don't like that. You know, I think that's just early app figuring out stuff, you know. That's what I just think that is. I just think that's early app jargon where they're just trying to figure it out, right? Maximum Custom, still waiting on old Wolvie Wiggums to make his FA comic appearance. Are you talking about Wolverine? A comic I've always wanted since I was a kid and finally get to own it in some way. Yeah, you talking about Wolverine, right? Hulk 181. I know, right? If that's one you're talking about, I think that's what you're talking about, right? Picked up the Fantastic Four 13 Secret Rare for $3. I love that comic. Oh, man, I love that comic. That is such a good comic. Where is it? Fantastic Four 13. Where is it? Right here. Right there. The Watcher. Look at that. 300. Nice. Yeah, I got to get to this one. This is one of my targets right here. Really great comic. More what ifs coming. I like the Watcher. And of course, people are liking the, this is funny because the ultra rare is now again worth more than the secret rare, which they flip flop each other from time to time. But you know, this is the first exclusive ultra rare cover we have on the app. So it's really great. People like it. I like the secret rare better just because it's like pure scarcity. It's like half the amount of them. So I'd rather go for this one right here. And as a purist comic book collector, I like the art here better than I like the art here. But They're both great. So nicely done. That's a good one, right? I don't know if it's the wine, but you convinced me to sell my Marvel comic one. No, don't do that. I'm not trying to convince you to sell those, John. I never said sell your Marvel comic ones. I just don't want Amazing Fantasy to come to the app and be 48,000 editions. I just do not want that. But you know, Strange Tales 110 secret rare or Fantastic Four 5 secret rare. Yeah, well, I had that choice. Blada Jr. I had that choice, and I chose Fantastic Four 5 secret rare. I chose it at the time, so I literally had the choice, you know. And this is what happened. This is exactly what happened. So I had the 2 Darth Vader ultra rares, and Rob Stuff, you know, Rob Stuff, the YouTuber, he didn't have a Darth Vader ultra rare at that moment, and the Fantastic Four 5 was listed at 1750. And so, you know, I actually right on stream with Rob, he bought one of my ultra rares, my Darth Vader ultra rare that I bought it for 900, and you know, the day of the drop. And then I realized after I got one on the drop, but I had to secure that Vader, so I got it for 900. And so anyway, I had that one for a while, and then I basically traded the Vader at the time because it was around that price for the Doctor Doom Fantastic Four 5 secret rare. That was because I had one already, right? So I could have 2 Vaders right now sitting there, and they're worth a little bit more than the Fantastic Four 5, but that Fantastic Four 5 is a monster, right? So I already made that choice. I could have took those gems and bought the secret rare of Strange Tales, but I wanted that. I try to work top down. I think Fantastic Four 5 is bigger than Strange Tales 110, even though I think Strange Tales 110 should be right there with Fantastic Four 5. It should be over 2,000. I mean, all the people that are selling the Strange Tales 110, I don't understand. Like, I really want them to keep it that way because I need to buy one because I don't own one. So please, you know, do not sell it for higher. Do not sell this for more because I'm working my way up. It's 1169. I'm working my way up to one of these. One day I'll get one. I hope. But I said the same thing about Ultimate Fallout 4, and look at it now. So some great deals on the comics right now. Low mint hunting right now. People are trying to cash out. Yeah, keep your eyes open for the great deals, guys. But remember, I'm going to say this, okay? And this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to end the stream. Okay, let me just I got to end the stream because I have to go eat dinner. But this is the last thing I'm going to say. So, okay, so this is how my mind works, and this is what I'm thinking. You can take it or leave it. But with the gems being full price, they're more expensive. It's going to be harder for you to get into these grails over time now. All right? If you're buying gems cheaper previously, that's done, unless you want to take some massive risks, but I'm saying that's done. So it's going to be harder to get to these grails, in my opinion. So we'll see dips now because of this whole news with the gem thing. We'll see dips because gems are more scarce and it's harder to get them. So some people are going to sell their stuff to get their gems, right? Makes sense. No worries. But over a period of time here, and it's not going to take long, that's going to dry up. That whole phenomenon is going to happen, and the grails are going to separate. This is what I'm thinking. This is just my opinion. They're going to separate a bit. And if you sell a grail right now, like a Vader or something like that, it's going to be hard for you to get back there, right? Just by the notion of just getting the gems back. Like if you sell a Vader for 2,000, whatever, and you pay the 8%, you're already down. And those gems are now worth what they're supposed to be worth. So, then, I don't know what you do with those gems. If you're cashing them out, great. Or if you buy other stuff and you're trying to work your way up again, great. Whatever, do what you want. But it's going to be hard to get back to that Vader level again, right? You can't just go off app now, call up some person and buy them at 60 cents. Like, it's not happening. You're not doing that anymore. You could try probably, but I would not recommend it, everybody. I'd read terms of service and just go by the book. Always go by the book. That's my recommendation. But like I said, it's going to be harder to get to those bigger grails in the future here. I don't know when, at some point soon. So I have my eye on stuff before they go up, because people are going to sell them for cheap right now for cash out reasons too. We're seeing some of that. We always knew that. I just didn't think we'd have some crazy crash. And it looks like we're not getting a crazy crash. Like I've always predicted, no big giant dip. I mean, the market went up and now it's kind of like stabilized in the middle somewhere. And Vader and you know, Vader's not going back down. He's not down to 1,000, is he? So like, it's only going the other way. You know, just like we've always been saying, right? If you're waiting for him to go to 1,000 again, you might be waiting a long time. But like I said, it's going to be harder to get to those. So this is like, I'm personally going to try not to sell my big stuff like that, because how am I going to get back there without blowing a lot of cash or having to sell a bunch of other stuff for cheap? I don't want to do that. So I'm going to try to hold on. This is just what I'm going to try to do. So whatever you want to do, I'm fully supportive. It's your collection, your app, your prerogative. It's all good. Whatever you want to do. Right. And I'll end it with vibes. One is an early drop before January pump, and the other ST110 is during a bear market with less people. So less hype and less liquidity. That's totally true, vibes. Yep. Strange Tales 110 has not broken through the people who have got him on the drop and are selling it now for profit or whatever, right? You know, or maybe, you know, they're just cashing out too. So, you know, he hasn't reached 2,000 yet, but let's be honest. It's Strange Tales 110. It's a massive comic. Anyway, I want to thank you all for coming out. I appreciate you. I will have my next live stream on Saturday morning. And that's when I do my blind box rewards for the drop heads. So that's the comic rewards that if you own a drop head like this with that logo, then you get into the draw for the comic books we give out. And these are in real life comic books. These are nice comics. And it's going to be every Saturday for the whole year. And then the comics, as we get closer to the end of the year, they're going to get big. I'm going to have some good stuff. I got some stuff behind me, right? So, and then also on Saturday, we have the Eco Club, which is like, if you have a drop head that has the like OMI looking logo, then you enter into the rewards for actual OMI crypto. And that gets sent out as well through my Discord. So if you want any of those, get in now and then, you know, get on my Discord server and, you know, you can get involved in that. That's Saturday. So I'll see you on that day for sure. And I'll probably see you in the spaces or see you in other places too. But thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate you big time for coming out. Have a great day. Sorry I wasn't able to stream yesterday. I usually do it on Wednesday, but like I said, I had a project that I'm working on for graphic design. It's my other job and deadlines. So, you know, unfortunately, I got to do those first before I come on here and chat with you, even though this is my favorite thing to do. All right. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Have a good one. Happy collecting.